streams.
Thank you for the reminder, because it reminds me to actually switch my token.
Yes, and switch your token if you have not already. Alright, so yeah, why don't we get a recap from Ivor whenever you're ready.
Sure. Well, we started off precariously perched over the pit past the gate. We disarmed some traps, made ourselves a little bit more room to walk and be relatively comfortable there. Spent a great deal of time thinking about the best way to deal with the pending anti-magic field. Theo specifically was showing zero interest, actually negative interest, in not going any further. He had a vested interest in leaving that
All
ship
my
alone.
friends hate anti-magic.
Beldani went. He had already been, in it a little bit, but he was gaseous formed around a little bit and went up to the door on the other side. Saw some markings and stuff. Did his best to jot them down, bring them back to the professor. Say, hey, they found this shit on the door, and she was like, well, this kind of looks like runes. Maybe it's an arcane lock. I don't know for sure. And we were like, well, it seems like a good enough guess. What else? I think, shortly thereafter, the professor was like, well, there's ain't nothing to it but to do it, so let's get this show on the road. And she did a fairly nimble dodge around some of the traps, heading down the hallway and into the field. Ivor spent a considerable amount of time debating the best way to proceed himself, and decided to try to fly into the dead zone, as it were, and maybe his velocity would carry him past one of the blades, and actually did a remarkable job at that, much to my surprise. And immediately after that, Zalia turned around to continue whatever conversation we were having, and saw that Ivor did not look himself at all, and was quite shocked and taken aback. And there was some tripping, there was some catching, there was some disbelief. There was some gears turning, and then there was a lot of anger. And she went across the ropes and pins that Beldani had set up on the bigger pit, and went to check out the door. I followed pretty much shortly right after that. Donnie had, very little reaction to the devilish, the fiendish man now standing there. He was basically like, well, if you're still gonna fight demons, I don't give a shit. And Betha was like, ugh, fucking youngins and their weird shit. Theo was taking a nap in his hammock. Beldani, when he saw me, he was like, don't worry, man, I get it. Which is fair for Donnie, I think, because he is wicked pale as well, and also not from this place. But anyway, we got to the other side. Donnie went back for Theo, who was very reluctant, said, get up and leave, but eventually he did. And as he was passing through the anti-magic field, suffered a few consequences. I think his armor had malfunctioned, his arm disappeared, and he got real dumb. And then when he came back out the other side, he was like, oh, that fucking sucked, let's not do that again. And then we spent a good deal more time trying to figure out this door and what it was that was on it, and whether or not we wanted to enter now or later. We determined probably that it was an arcane lock on the door, and whatever runes on the ground were in front of it were likely preventing some variety of entity from passing. Beldani, at least, was not able to actually touch the door, so we knew that it would pertain at least to him. But we decided that we wanted to attempt to take a rest, and we got at least a couple of hours into it before we heard a loud noise on the other side of the door. And but it didn't continue, so it looked like we were going to continue the rest. But then somebody decided, had some insider intelligence that maybe some shitty things were happening on the other side, and decided, yep, we're going in. So Tinder.
Intelligence the right word? I don't know.
We're going to find out. Insider intelligence or fiendish manipulation. who knows? Who even knows anymore? Aren't those the same thing? So we dispelled the lock, opened the door. Azalea was very pissed because we're all pretty much spent. But on the other side, we saw Corvus, and we spoke to him a little bit, and he was like, "What are you doing here?" We were like, "What are you doing here? What's all this shit? There's runes on the ground. There's you're in the middle of some kind of ritual. We just want to talk." And I was like, "Well, okay." We made some pretty persuasive arguments. He dropped the so Theo and Donnie, I think, had already gone in, and I think that maybe the professor did as well. But after some convincing, he chose that he chose to drop the rune which was preventing Beldani and I from coming in. And when we did, for no real clear reason, a Nabasu was summoned by one of the runes. We don't necessarily think Cordis did it. Cordis now, I think, kind of doesn't think that we did it, but definitely one of the runes did it, so we're not sure what the trigger is or how that happened. Killed the Nabasu, and now we're here. Yeah, I think that's the run of it.
All right. So yeah, we got Zalia doing scribe. Zalia is also leader and quartermaster. It is the 41st to fall at 5 p.m. as the group is continuing to try to figure out what the heck is going on in this place. So the Nabasu fell. Cordis seems a bit, I don't know if suspicious is the word, but confused as to why it was summoned from the rune. And your group kind of denied that you did anything. He says he didn't do anything. So yeah, what do you all want to do?
I'm gonna notice that I'm standing on the desk and get off.
Yeah.
Okay. Standing
I forgot
and
you were doing
kneeling
that.
and all his arcane ritual stuff.
Oh yeah, I think you and Beldani were up on it at one point, and he was like, "Hey, get off my shit!"
Yeah, I'm gonna really wobbly get off because I'm like pretty.
So, end of last session, I had cast Detect Magic. What is there anything glowing other than the runes? Yeah, runes in the center.
The runes are glowing. Looks like there's something glowing in one of the chests. There's some of the stuff on the desk. Looks like it might be arcane components. They are glowing.
Am I picking up any conjuration magic coming off of any of the runes on the floor, or detecting any vibes that there might be a sensor around?
You don't think so? There's no arcane. There's no arcane aura that is kind of unaccounted for.
All right, and then just for the 1% chance, any chance this is a mithril plate?
Is that no?
Darn.
Son of a bitch!
Anytime I see armor, just for the slight percent chance that it might be, I gotta ask. So I'll let everybody know the magic sources that are coming off. Reassure everybody that I believe that Corvus is as caught off by the demon popping up as us. I'm not picking up any conjuration. Can you tell us about what this ritual's supposed to do?
He says, I was trying to figure out what was going on down here. Like you, I've noticed some demons coming out of this place, and I thought it was sealed, but something reopened it. Why are you all down here?
You thought it was sealed. Is this your room?
He says, well, I meant this bunker as a whole. It was sealed before.
Was it per...
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
He would say it was sealed long ago after the invasion of the halls of Tarsus. The dwarves fought the enemies back and resealed it. Something opened it long ago, and that's when the first attacks happened on Tarsus.
And were those attacks carried out by the followers of Orcus? Or was that a different force?
You mean what came out of this vault?
What invaded to where this vault ended up being sealed? Or if things did come out of this vault, yes.
This is demons serving Orcus, yes. That's what was sealed in here originally. Followers of Orcus.
Do you know about the Dracolich? What was his name?
Telekaru.
Telekaru.
This is yes. He was sealed as well, though up in the halls of Tarsus they imprisoned him. Are you saying
Yes.
he's escaped?
Somehow he was able to escape. We've ran into him a couple times so far.
Give me a deception check.
Oh,
Somehow, I don't know.
somehow, who
Weird. That's so...
who even knows?
Yeah. What even is a Draco Lich?
It's not a very good
So,
laugh.
to be honest,
He's like, oh, that was a
got
bad
curious, didn't follow the warning. Figured the dragon would be dead after this long. Turns out it doesn't die that easy.
Says no, that's why they sealed it away. So
It
you all
wasn't
freed him.
Seal, was it?
I take credit for it. It was my blender. They did the Shadowlord.
Well, that would explain...
No one currently in this party participated in the freeing of the Shadowlord.
Dahlia.
Were you with us then? Oh, okay. I mean,
Yeah,
Alma was there,
Azalea
but
was there.
I was there as Alma, but I didn't realize Dahlia was there.
So do you think that Telekaru could be responsible for this?
I would be surprised if it was someone else. I would guess Telekaru returned here to retrieve items of power that were sealed behind here. He was an ally to Orcus's forces long ago, when they first attacked the halls of Tarsus.
Do you think that Telekaru has access to magics which would create persistent illusions on a scale like this temple?
He shakes his head. He says, no, I don't know what's causing persistent illusions. He says, is that what these demons are?
Not the
No.
demons. Not the demons. But,
Indeed.
Possibly some of them, but we've been seeing apparitions of various types, including one of you.
An Orcus popped up at one point, but Donnie beat him up until he disappeared.
Well, something tells me that that particular iteration of Orcus may not have been an illusion so much as it was some realization of him, actually. Because all of the illusions that we've seen, which have proven to be insubstantial, have fallen with a single swing, whereas Orcus surely did not.
Well, Orcus is trapped in the hells. If he was able to manifest himself here, I don't know if any of us would have survived that.
No,
But-
Do I-
Go ahead.
Do I pick up any illusion magic coming off of Corvus?
No, he doesn't actually have any auras on him right now.
Okay.
Interesting.
No necromancy?
No, but undead don't generally have necromancy auras on them. It takes
Nifty.
magic to make undead, but once they're made, the magic isn't still on them.
The more you know.
What's curious about it is some of the apparitions are things that we've never encountered before, but some of the apparitions are things that are known only to us. For instance, an acquaintance of ours, who we left far behind in Char, suddenly manifested here in a different form that didn't know us.
Do you know a hollow hand?
He says, no. What's a hollow hand?
Crazy ass man that I really want to learn from.
Crazy old man, indeed.
A wizard.
I cannot say I've met him. But you say you've seen demons coming through portals down here.
Indeed. Not unlike the one that we've just seen.
And ghosts and dwarven people and something's watching us and God, she's
Have
gonna
we
sit down.
Have we seen them actually come through portals, or have we only seen them come at us?
Actually, that's a good point. I don't think that we've actually seen them manifest before. We've only been at
We
the
just
receiving
watched
end of
one manifest a moment ago, though.
just this one,
Yeah.
though. Yes.
Well, but the same thing happened at the very one of the first
Uh,
battles we had down here in that room where we encountered Orcus. Weren't there demons that appeared after the statues started glowing?
Ah, that's
I don't
true.
know if we saw a portal, but they just materialized in our presence.
They did. That's correct.
give me a persuasion check from up to 2 of the people in the group talking.
Can I give him guidance instead of rolling?
No, you wouldn't. Unless you're like casting in the middle of all this talking, and like enchanting him while he's talking, which would be a little awkward.
Pretty sure most get just used to it with me around.
That's all he does is chant.
Just constantly chanting guidance at everything. After a while, everyone's like, "Quiet, stop it." But he would sort of look at you as you say that and say, I was actually curious about that. I had not encountered any portals while I was down here, so I don't know where the demons were coming from. But if you say you saw portals open, that might answer that question.
Is there any precedence for taint of a demon as powerful as Orcus, like his lingering presence by chance being able to influence other magics around?
Possibly, but not this long. Orcus, as far as I know, has never been to this place. It's only been tainted by his followers.
No, the portal. It wasn't a portal though. It was a materialization. So would that fly in the face of Zelia's knowledge of how these things are usually summoned?
They don't generally just appear from nowhere. Usually, demons are summoned by something.
Okay, and this one that we just fought did also appear from like the rune, but basically nowhere.
It seemed like it was summoned by the rune, although from what was said by
Corvus.
Corvus or Cordis, that rune did not summon the demon.
Okay, so Celia will say, "No, I think you mistake us. There's been no portal of any kind, at least not that we've seen. They seem to have just been appearing, and of course all these cultists are here as well. And I mean, the devils or the demons rather, they seem to be behaving as normal demons once they're here. Did that one that we just killed leave an essence behind?"
It didn't. Well, yeah, I guess he would have. He probably left essence.
And the other ones have also left essence, correct?
Yeah.
I need to detect magic around the cultists. I need eyes on them while I have detect magic going to see if they're illusions.
Well, Cordis would say, I was trying to figure out where these demons are coming from. Because as far as I could tell, there are no active portals, and I hadn't encountered anyone who was summoning them, which is what made it so peculiar.
Theo, do you see anyone watching us?
Is that why you have been trailing me? You thought that I was the one summoning these demons?
Yes.
I guess
Albeit we assumed some things that does make an ass out of me, but
So I can't fully fault you for your assumptions. I would be a prime suspect because of my undead status.
just to let you know, we do have other undead that we are actively helping.
We have lots of undead friends.
No, it's if you are genuinely repentant about what you've done in the past, we may have an option for you to not be undead.
Not be undead.
Yeah, it's called killing them again, sending them to the right place.
I was thinking of the constructs and their soul forging. We have seen it work.
Never heard of such a thing. Would it work for someone like myself?
I think it might rather depend on the status of your soul.
Yes, there was one undead woman who was trapped in the equivalent of a magic panic room since the fall of Isik. She now has a new body.
As well, for now, I would be interested in figuring out more of what's going on in this place. If the
Indeed.
demons keep appearing and attacking your town, um, well, that wouldn't do good for anyone, would it?
Tell us more about this ritual that you are in the middle of. How does it work? What do you need to make it work, and would it give you a definitive answer?
As well, I've mostly been trying to watch the dungeon and figure out what's causing these demons to be summoned. I can't find any type of mastermind behind it. I was thinking it might have had something to do with your group, but obviously that's not the case. But
Well,
other than you, I haven't detected anyone else here besides these strange demons.
What about the cultists?
He says, I haven't seen any evidence of cultists.
We've ran into a few.
there are perhaps a few dozen of them, unless they are themselves illusions. We saw as many in a bit of a cathedral, or I don't know what you would call it, an altar room in the middle of this temple. They were currently, well, at the time anyways, led by a Nalfeshni, of all things.
He says, well, it is curious. I have not seen any, but if there are cultists here, that might explain it. Though still, I hadn't detected any sort of portals anywhere or seen any summoning, any type of summoning ritual, so it just seems odd to me.
You had
What do you know
mentioned
about this dragon?
Hmm?
What do you know about this dragon? So it
Telekaru?
strikes me that if we could
Yes.
find the source of it and its power, we know that
Blackbird.
it had a scribe or it has been watching us. It's possible that it's playing games with us, all of us. And but if we could get to it or to its phylactery, we might be able to put an end to it.
Well, I haven't seen Telekaru down here. My guess is that he probably got what he was here for and left. If I had to guess, but he could still be here, maybe avoiding my scrying, hiding somewhere.
We saw a potential illusion version of him, but he got taken by the little gnome man.
allegedly.
Scrying.
There is. The only thing we know for sure is that Donnie's axe didn't like him as Telekaru, but whether or not he was fully an illusion remains to be seen, I think.
Were you scrying on us?
Well, I saw you following me a while back. I had evaded you, but I hadn't been able to scry you since. I'm not sure where you were for most of the time, but I didn't see you when I was looking around the dungeon.
So you did not then scry us in the altar room that I had mentioned?
No, I hadn't.
That was the other Cordis.
What the fuck?
He says, so there's a Cordis supposedly helping you, or someone else who looked like me. There are all these illusions of people. Some you knew, some you didn't. And you say Telekaru was here too, but you're not sure if he is an illusion.
Indeed. And some of these illusions were potent enough to affect the world around us, such as, well, the other you, who was able to silence the room we were fighting in, but some of them had no such capabilities.
He thinks for a moment and says, Have you seen the miasma by chance? The dark miasma that has been present in the caves in this area, as well as in this temple in certain places.
Have we seen it other than under the church?
The only place you saw it was under the church. I think. I don't remember you seeing it anywhere else, but yeah, I
don't
think it
think
was
we
just
did.
under the church.
Certainly, I have not seen such a miasma. No.
No, I haven't seen any miasma either.
Other than under the church.
We weren't there.
Theo, you were there, weren't you? Yeah, that's Donnie went into the miasma and teleported to the past, kind of, or saw the past. Took a
Yeah.
lot of damage.
Betha and Zalia and Gildus and Donnie were all in the church. We didn't finish the church because we went to Isaac, but
Did you mention that, or is that out of character? You're saying that?
sorry, that was out of character.
Okay.
Yeah. So well, no. Theo. Oh no, Theo mentioned it, but he wasn't there. Yeah, there was some miasma under the church. Our friend stepped into it and was transported.
The church. What church?
So I'd pull up my map and point it out on the map.
He looks. He says, "So there is some sort of church above us."
I don't know. Is it directly above us?
Not directly, but it is definitely close, somewhere above you. It's in the
Yes,
area.
It's quite close, and curiously, it recently just collapsed into itself.
And you say you've seen this miasma there before, but you don't know what it is.
That's right.
What can you tell us about this miasma?
He says, "Not much. I was hoping perhaps you had some experience, but I have seen it in the caves and places, and when I first came into the temple down here, I noticed traces of it here as well. Though not
Where
as
did you
much
notice
recently.
these traces?
Within the halls, around the entryway, as well as in one of the side hallways, past one of the crushing ceiling traps."
Is
He
it
says, "But I have no idea what it is." Like
is
I
it
said,
transformative? And so that was the stuff that it took Donnie like back in time, or is that the stuff that just did damage?
It sort of did both. It seemed like it was very powerful necrotic energy, but it also kind of gave visions, as if there was an intelligence to it.
Okay.
I don't
The
know
miasma-
if this group ever figured out much more about it, though.
No. The miasma that we saw, it harmed our friends, but it also delivered some sort of psychoactive capability, possibly transporting him to a different place or time. We weren't quite sure, to be honest. We didn't have a chance to study it, but it did do quite a bit of damage to him. It seemed almost sentient.
Perhaps this miasma knows more about what's going on down here than we do.
Maybe.
So we should throw Donnie into it?
Well, I haven't seen any of it since my initial entry into this place. I don't know what happened to it.
Like to see you try to throw me anywhere, little man.
With the right equipment, I might. I'm more so meaning you're the only one who probably survived being in there long enough to see anything.
Well, that's smart on you.
Did we leave the door open behind us?
I believe so. I don't think you ever had a chance to close it.
I'm gonna go back over and close it.
So he says, I don't have much more information to give. The question is, what will you all do now?
I don't even think that we have a good answer to that.
We must rest before we can do anything at all. I believe messaging a few people, trying to make sense out of all these apparitions might be a place to start. What were you trying to do when we came in?
Gather information. I've been scrying the different parts of the bunker, trying to figure out who's controlling these demons and what's creating them.
I've got a question.
He looks to you.
Oh, wow. People listen. How'd you get in here? There's a big-ass pit, anti-magical thing, and then there's a gate that you can't even move across.
That's a damn good question, actually.
Thank you.
Magic!
He goes quiet for a moment. Give me an insight check.
Betha.
Betha. Everyone just looks at Betha.
How did he
got it.
roll on that? Did he roll on that one?
Mm-hmm.
Ivor did, yeah.
Then, what are you doing over there? Why are you staring at the corner? Pay attention.
It's not gonna be better. It's not gonna be better than yours.
Oh.
So
Roll
worth
a
trying my
20.
crit.
Yeah, and make it a 20, which he already has.
So, he kind of, he doesn't answer right away, and he would say, I am, with almost a bit of maybe shame and regret in his voice, he says, I'm familiar with this place. I have ways of getting past the death traps.
What about the anti-magic?
He says, what about it?
Is that your room? Did you put it there?
No, the anti-magic was, well, it was put there to protect this vault long ago.
Can I go through some of this stuff in
Secrets.
this?
Sorry,
Hey, I'm talking to everyone.
Donnie, what were you saying?
Donnie kind of looks at Zalia and Theo and goes, I started this line of questioning. And then says, shoot, now I forgot what I was going to ask.
Come on,
Donnie just
Donnie. You started
Presses
this.
his head, and his eyes kind of go cross-eyed for a minute.
No, he would say, oh yeah, care to share those secrets on how you got in and out of here easy?
He says, well, there is a lever to get past the gate, which I used. And if you know where to step, you can avoid most of the traps.
Okay.
Yes. Those who
But,
lived here long ago had to actually train to get down this hallway. Those who failed, well, they suffered a pretty gruesome fate, as you probably would have guessed.
Well, I would have been fine, but I can understand how others died. I'm done with questions now. The rest of you can resume.
I suppose that my follow-up question would be, yes, I can see how you would get past the gate and how you would get past the traps, but how did you get past the door? Or did you put it there? No, you said you didn't.
Well, he dismissed it for us so that
I-
Beldani can
yeah,
enter, so
he
presumably
says-
he has control.
I put the seals on the door, yes. That was to make sure that the demons didn't get in here while I was performing my experiments.
Very well.
Chain. Would you be opposed to me looking through these chests and stuff for anything that might be useful? And on the off chance, do you have like a Rune Master's Guide for Dummies? Or an
I was
intro
about to
too?
ask about that actually. Are you a Rune Master?
I was, long ago. He says,
We've
back
met-
when I was mortal.
We've met a Rune Master. And I will say his name, although I, Darcy, do not remember his name, but the guy...
Her name.
No, it was
Who did you
a
meet?
man and a woman.
We met those ghosts. One of them was,
Oh.
but she was a woman.
Yeah.
Who
Man and a woman.
Monocle belonged to.
Yeah.
There were two dwarf ghosts in there. One of them was a man,
Oh,
one of them
right.
was a woman.
Yeah, okay, I remember. The grave where you got
Yes.
the Donnie's axe or dumb
Yep.
axe. So, well, what did you ask him? Do you have a book for Rune Masters for Dummies?
That and more pertinent, is it okay if we go ahead and look through this? See if there's things that we can use in these chests and equipment benches.
I think
This
Theo
is,
asks a good question. I
Well,
think that
Rather than asking 4 words, it's simply, can we steal this shit?
he says, "Well, I think someone has already looted this place, but there might still be some things you can use. I don't need any of the treasures anymore."
that's
Thank
very
you.
generous of you. Thank you.
Instantly point Bill to the one that has the magic coming out of it.
So the armor rack is actually empty. There's no more armor on it. You do see some gold here, not as much as it looks like there is, but there is some old Empire dwarven coins. This one has the glowing, and this one just seems like an ordinary chest.
And are either of them locked?
They're both. Well, actually, this one is locked. This one seems to be open, like someone may have broken into it already.
All right. I'll go ahead and pick the lock on the one that's closest to me.
All right. So I don't think. Well, go ahead and give me a. Yeah, you're fine. So you quickly use your thieves' tools to pop it open, and inside. Give me a D10 roll. Inside you find what looks like to be kind of some old debris of things that may have rotted. Though looking through it, underneath there is a small silver ring with some etchings on it that appear to be dwarven symbols of some kind.
I will take the ring out and...
History, or if someone speaks dwarven, you might know something about the ring.
May I see it? I have history and
Yes.
speak Dwarven,
I will pass the ring to Theo.
and also have detect magic going. So may I get the
Yes,
school?
that is.
Did you say that this is Dwarvish?
Yes.
Or... No, never mind. That's not what I was going for anyway. I got my shit backwards. I don't have that. I have history. Carry on.
So with a history check, Donnie, and anyone else who wants to make it, I guess Theo, 13, you wouldn't know too much. Donnie and sure Ivor as well. You would recognize some of these symbols. They represent fire and warmth.
Out right there, that means hot.
Can I read what it says?
Basically, well, that's what the symbols represent.
Okay.
If you speak Dwarven. And with history,
You're welcome that I gave you that information.
and
Thank
with
you,
history,
Donnie.
you would, yeah, exactly. Luckily, Donnie puts on his reading glasses and.
What school of magic's coming off of it?
Don't make me look stuff up. Hang on.
I swear sometimes we as players ask that question just to annoy the DM.
Eventually, he's just gonna have us find magic items with labels attached.
Yeah. This is a...
Well, a lot
This
of the
is
magic.
I don't give a bleep.
Yeah, most of the magical items don't have schools of magic attached to them, so I just have to kind of come up with it. Yeah, I guess I'd go with abjuration probably.
Well, you asked us what we were going to do next. I would put the same question to you.
Well, as I said, I'm probably just going to continue watching and see what I can figure out. I want to find out what is going on down here, as I worry that these demons could cause problems if they are not stopped.
As do we. Would you be amenable to us sharing your quarters so that we can get a rest?
And he says, well, even if I wished for you to leave, I don't think you'd listen.
I assure you, we were resting somewhat cramped, but comfortably in the hallway. We would go if you wanted.
He says, no, I suppose you can stay, as long as certain members of your group don't try to kill me. And he kind of looks at Beldani and Donnie, who are kind of staring daggers at him a little.
Kill you yet, but just warning, that one over there, pointing at Theo, he snores.
No, I don't.
Says, well,
How dare!
Luckily,
You
as an undead,
totally
I don't
do.
require sleep.
Theo, bring the ring
Lucky
over and
you.
I have a look at it, but then I want to get some sleep. I feel quite ill.
I honestly did not think you had the energy for it right now. I'll give it over to you.
It'll only take a moment or two.
Alright, so you take the ring. And what are you doing? Just resting?
Yeah, I'm gonna cast Identify.
All right. So... And the plan is to rest here for the evening?
It's my plan.
I think we
With
should
our
carry
new
on.
buddy.
As long as nobody, and I'll look over at Ivor, plans to open anything.
Certainly, I have no plans to open anything that we haven't already opened. But
And what about your companion?
I'm sure I have no idea what you're talking about.
If you say so, I will.
Try to remember why I might have marked myself with an exploding head.
Tinder would say,
Alone.
what is she accusing us of?
I'll reply and I'll say, well, truth be told, I think she may be accusing you of causing all the trouble down here. To be frank, it seems unusual that you would be so interested in stopping whatever ritual it was that was happening on the other side, and it just so happens that that ritual was designed to provide answers to some very interesting questions.
This is why I thought I detected some sort of summoning. I still do think, I still don't know if I fully trust this Cordis. But as for causing what's happening down here, I was trapped within my cage. How would I be causing this?
That's a good question, and I don't have a good answer. And perhaps I would say I might be giving you more credit than you do, but I would be very impressed if you were able to orchestrate all of this from inside the confines of a chest. But we've seen crazier things happen.
Well, fair enough. But, like I said, I still don't know if I fully trust this Cordis, or if he isn't hiding something.
Indeed. Let me know if you think that if there's a moment specifically that you think he is being untoward, and I will pursue it.
He nods and says, I'll keep an eye on him. Alright, so you're casting Identify on the ring.
Yeah.
So 10 minutes pass by, and you would find that this is something called a Ring of Warmth. But it seems like it has some kind of hidden property that Identify's not telling you.
Heavy breathing.
A ring of warmth, which I believe keeps you warm in the cold, but there's something else lingering under the surface I can't quite make out. Must have some other property to it, but
Give it to Donnie in case it's a curse.
No,
Donnie would actually speak up at this point and say, I can fight against most things, but like cold don't bother me, but it's been recent that warm actually does, so I actually wouldn't mind that. Wow, I've gone southern suddenly with my Donnie voice.
You poking fun at me?
If it's the warmth,
I really, that's not the intent. Like, I slipped into it once and I've not been able to get out of it.
Honestly, I figured with orcs having the tusks and stuff, they would have more of a southern drawl than anything.
Or a lisp.
I mean, it really is not intentional that I've fallen into this voice. It's just now that I've fallen into it, I can't get out of it.
I will
That'll
confirm
happen.
everybody.
I'll hand it over to Donnie. Yes, it will protect you against cold damage, Donnie.
specifically, I think you said, Donnie, that the cold doesn't bother you, but the heat does. If that is your concern, I don't think this ring will actually serve you. If it's the
Do we
heat
know
that
one way or
bothers
the other? Does it protect against cold or does it protect against heat?
you, it
Cold
protects
damage.
against
Protects
cold.
against cold.
Cold,
Oh,
yeah.
sorry, I misheard earlier, sorry.
It makes you
Oh.
warm.
Yeah, sorry, I misheard you. I thought you were saying, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I have resistance against cold. I was looking for resistance against fire.
5,000 gold.
Does anyone think that they could use it? It requires a certain level of commitment.
I am presently not committed to all that many things. If you wouldn't mind passing it off. I don't know. Well, I have no problem telling you that I wouldn't benefit necessarily from the cold resistance, but I am extremely curious about these unidentified properties. So if there is anyone who desires resistance from cold, it would benefit them more immediately. But if there is none, I would be very curious about what else it does.
I'm full on attunement slots.
Could possibly be cursed, is the thing. I could try to study it at more length, but I'll hold it out on the palm of my hand. But I'm afraid I'm rather topped out at the moment.
We don't have the lore spell, do we?
No.
Mm-mm.
Legend lore, I think that's what it's called.
Yeah, legend lore.
Yeah, we've been waiting to find someone or something similar for Dumbax, because we know there's still properties of it we don't know.
Yeah.
Lyra might have it. If one Zaylia doesn't have it, the other Zaylia probably will.
I don't have it, but yeah.
Very well then, Professor, if you don't mind.
She's holding it out on her palm.
Yeah. I will ask Tinder if he will retrieve it for me. Quick. Actually, wait, I don't need to do that. I think I have.
I don't have a
sinister
random
laugh.
I'll just... What? No, I will mage hand it out of your hand, if you will allow that.
She'll allow it, but she's definitely going to give you a look.
Would I see magic coming off of where Tinder is?
Probably not.
Yeah, probably not, for whatever reason.
And Professor, I would say if you're raising a brow at it, I would say that I don't know how I would describe it. I'm trying my best to be polite, more than.
Yeah. She's not raising a brow in the archway that she usually does. This is more of a defeated kind of resigned.
Okay, sure. All right.
So you mage hand the ring, and what are you doing with it?
Probably during the coming rest. Well, definitely. I will. No, slip it on, but I imagine it requires more commitment than that. So during the course of the rest, I will attempt to
attune to it.
Attune to it. Yeah.
All right. So you start resting, or I should say, the group starts resting, as Cordis continues his rituals, where he looks like he's scrying. So are you just passing time trying to do a long rest?
I think we are trying to do a long rest now, yeah.
Yeah. Sally's gonna kind of curl up in the corner.
Okay, so you continue trying to long rest. Everyone sort of gets comfortable. Give me a D20 roll for events. Events. Alright. So...
Hear the traps go off.
Oh, one thing I had forgotten about this because we had closed the door already, but I would volunteer to keep watch throughout the night outside the room if that is agreeable to the party.
Do watches, because if you did it all night, wouldn't that mean you don't get your rest?
It's funny you mentioned that.
Oh.
I do not. I do not require sleep.
I'm so sorry. That's life's greatest pleasure.
Incidentally, it was quite genuine of me when I said that those 10 minutes that you've given me those last couple of times have been the most restful 10 minutes I've had in a long, long time.
That's what happens when you have magic drugs thrown in your eyes.
I'll take them.
So what do you have that makes it so you don't have to sleep?
It is, well, cat's out of the bag. It's an invocation. It is Aspect of the Moon. Let me pull it up.
Oh, Ivor, if you are going to go on watch, just in case you need it, do you want to top up real quick?
Oh, yes, that would be quite ideal, thank you.
Pocket sand!
Ah. So Ivor's had pocket sand for the first 10 minutes, if we've had 10 minutes already.
Okay.
Sweet, I'll take my pocket sand. Ooh.
Donnie would volunteer, like, I don't mind staying first watch with you. And secretly, he's actually kind of paying really close attention as you attune to the ring to see if you react in any way.
Sure, yeah, that's fair. Okay. take those. Not looking like shit necessarily. There we go.
Question for a random thing. If you used like a grinder to grind up a bunch of metal shavings and then as an action during combat threw that into someone's eyes, does that blind them?
Actual pocket sand.
Except metal shaving, so more damage.
Much worse.
Maybe.
Yes, that metal shavings could absolutely damage your eyes much
In
more.
real life, but will
Yeah,
they give
yeah.
you a spell slot?
Oh no, that's more so asking Lou. Is that something I could do, or is that completely out of the bag?
We'd have to talk more about it. 'Cause
Okay.
It's more like an improvised attack that you're trying to get blindness from, which would be
Yeah.
a bit more powerful than just a normal improvised attack.
Alrighty.
So you spend the hour. You would become attuned to the ring.
Okay. And I think that Donnie and I are currently outside of the room as well.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
are you
he's
out in the
asleep.
hallway?
Yep.
So he's making little cat sleep sounds while she sleeps, and Nettle is on her shoulder watching.
I'm staying close by the door to hear if anything happens.
Baith is snoring obnoxiously in whatever way the Bodak was warned it would be Theo doing.
And Beldani is meditating, but keeping an eye on the Bodek the entire time. Not taking my eyes off of him.
Alright. He looks like he is doing some sort of scry ritual. As his eye sockets kind of glow, and he has his hand over some runes that it looks like he's drawing power from.
If there's a time where his eyes on Magicify, I would try and ask him something.
So I mean, he comes out of it every now and then. You're just gonna try to talk to him after he comes out of it.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, he finishes up what he's doing at one point. What are you gonna say to him?
I have a pretty personal question I want to ask you.
Yeah.
What exactly made you decide to follow Orcus in the beginning?
It says he seems to hesitate. Give me a persuasion check.
If you don't feel like talking about that right now, I completely understand.
He says, I would rather not talk about it. But I will just say that I realize my mistake, and I have no further wish to follow the lies of Orcus or his ilk.
That's very good to hear, at least. Being able to learn from your mistakes is something I still haven't quite gotten a hold of, or gotten a hand on, and then hold up the metal arm.
I bet there's a story behind that.
Blew it off trying to experiment.
Well, not as much of a story as I would have thought then.
Well,
Just nods.
it's more so in the details, being able to condense down the power of a fireball into a pinpoint area and then use that to make something else go out very fast. It backfired. Instead of shooting it forward, it went straight through my arm.
Why would one need something fired really fast if one could use a fireball to damage one's foes?
It's a way of trying to make something for the villagers who can't quite grasp magic or don't have the funds to start learning it in the first place. A lot of towns have to rely on people like us showing up to save them if a hobgoblin army shows up, trying to figure out a way to give normal people a fighting chance.
Says, would you want normal people to have that sort of power?
In chaos comes innovation.
Says, yes, but it also brings danger. Power
Very
is
true.
something that needs to be respected, and giving anyone the power of a fireball could end poorly for everyone.
That is very true. Do also have plans of starting up an academy, so figured I'd tie those into each other, but that's long-term planning.
Says you are a strange fellow. He sort of goes back to scrying.
Bodak says I'm strange. He's right.
So meanwhile, out in the hallway, Donnie, you are sitting there keeping watch when you would hear your axe say, "Orc."
What now?
I was curious. What do we plan to do about this Bodak?
I don't know. What do you think we should do?
Says, well, he claims that he no longer follows Orcus, but I've never known an undead, or I've never known a Bodak to be trustworthy. Do you think it's a good idea to let him continue to exist?
I don't know for a test of that. I heard with witches, if you throw them into the water and they don't float, then they're a witch. Is there anything like that for
That's the
Orcus followers?
It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
I think it's the opposite. I think it's if they do float, they're a witch. If they die, then they're proven innocent.
Is that some kind of orc
They drown.
witch test? I've never even heard of that.
Very famous. It works all the time.
If they float, they're a witch. If they sink, they're not.
Well, if they drown, then wouldn't that defeat the purpose? Wait, did you say if they float, they were a witch?
If they float, they're definitely a witch.
Well, then all the non-witches would just drown.
Yeah.
How is that useful?
Well, they're not witches.
Yeah, but then you kill the person you're testing. That seems fairly useless.
It's 100% accurate, though.
Well, no,
Wow, Donnie supports witch hunts.
doesn't make any... Well, what if the witch just drowned because she didn't have a spell to save herself?
She's not a very good witch, is she? But she's still a witch.
Well, why wouldn't you just say if you spear every woman you find, then you'll kill all the witches you find?
Actually, a pretty good point.
That's about as useful as just throwing them in a lake and seeing if they drown.
You have some thoughts there. I might have to consider the spearing idea.
The philosophy of Donnie and his dumb axe.
But Donnie would go back into... So, to your point, though, I don't, everyone else is kind of trusting him, and I don't know what else to say about it.
Well, if what he's... he says, I feel uneasy about it, but I guess I don't really have a say in this.
You were right about tele something. So if you know anything about this dude, tell me, but
As well, I definitely sense the undead stink of Orcus on him.
I can tell that too.
The one thing I'll say is that, as I mentioned to you before, I don't think these things we're fighting are demons. So if they're not being summoned, then they might be something else entirely.
I mean, the only demon so far is the dude standing next to me right now.
As you say that out loud, I'll turn, and I'm like, I'm not super offended, but I'll be like, no, okay, listen, hold on. As long as the cat's out of the bag, please know that I'm a devil, allegedly. Demons.
There's a difference?
The axe says, yeah, he's a devil, he's not a demon.
There's a difference?
Well, technically, actually, there's a lot to unpack here. I don't know what the answer to your question is, but I do know that I'm not a demon. But if you want to call me one, I suppose there's no harm in it.
Does the witch test work on demons also?
Again,
No.
I will point out that your test just kills everyone, so I don't know how useful it is.
Throw holy water on everybody.
I guess technically the lake and the spear test would work on demons, since they're all just dead regardless.
Don't worry, Ivor. I don't plan on testing you, because I kind of already know about you.
I feel so much better.
Hey, dumbass, or just through my own observation, I'm assuming, like, at this point, Ivor would have attuned to the ring. Do I notice anything? Does he notice anything?
So you do see him wearing it. You don't see anything different about him. He seems like he's fine.
The attunement is successful.
Yeah, so you are attuned to it. This is after the first hour. So if
Sure.
anyone was doing hit dice, you can also spend them.
So it only takes an hour to attune to a magic
Yes,
item?
you can attune
All
as
right.
part of a short rest.
Betha seems extraordinarily attached to and fond of her new amulet now.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
She's now wearing 3 holy symbols of 3 different deities.
Betha's just, she's got the bling. Got
Well,
all
doesn't
the
that
amulets
change-
on.
T-Pain!
Amulet
T-Pain.
change its affiliation depending on who's wielding it?
Oh, would it? Because I don't mind wearing Moradin. I feel like Moradin's, teachings and tenets align with her other deities.
So you can use it as a holy symbol, I think, even though it's Moradin's symbol. Because
Well, right, yeah. Thalia was saying that it changes to the symbol of my deity, and I was just assuming it stays a symbol of Moradin. It doesn't matter either
What
way
is
to me.
what's it called again? I can look that up.
It was the Amulet of the Devout +2. But she's still probably going to continue using her existing as her actual focuses. The 2 beads in her hair.
It doesn't say it changes. It just says it has the symbol of a deity.
Okay.
Inlaid with
So
precious stones or metals.
Yeah, so she's wearing one that's
I don't know. You had me say it. You told me it changed on that.
Oh, maybe that was a specific, or maybe that was a special Amulet of the Devout. But yeah, this one just stays Moradin.
Well, and I thought it might also be part of the storyline that it was Moradin because we've been dealing with so much dwarven ancient secrets and stuff. So,
Well, I think when we found it, it was specifically dictated that it was Moradin, even if you had already assumed so. I think that's guaranteed.
well, right. After we noticed that it was the Hammer of Moradin, I assumed it might be storyline. Yeah,
Because they're both good gods, you could probably still use this to channel energies.
Well, she's going to continue to use. She uses the 8-pointed star of Pelor as her focus for her cleric spells, and she uses the Daisy of Sheila for her druidic spells. But she's now wearing an amulet around her neck, which is probably because I think you said it was bejeweled with a really expensive diamond. So this is really out of place because she's wearing grass woven dress and a rope belt, a vine belt, and
bling symbol.
Aetha's pimping now.
She's got the dollar signs with the diamonds in them.
Yeah.
Aetha's Flavor Flav.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So anyway, what's going on? Is anyone else doing anything after the rest, or should I keep passing time?
One more RP thing to do when my shift ends.
Okay.
I'm bugging Belle a bit.
When does your shift end? What shift are you on?
It would have been first shift. I would have been with Ivor.
All right. So go ahead and as the watch starts, because it was still early in the day. Is anyone
What time
else?
was it, Lou, just for my...
It was, or I'm sorry, it is 6 o'clock after the first rest ends. So you do have a few hours until nightfall. If you want.
No, I mean, what time was it when we started?
5 o'clock. So it's been one long rest since you started.
Okay.
So if anyone wants, they can work on downtime activity stuff right now. If you have something shorter.
Not anymore.
Belle, while this rest is happening, I do want to switch over the +2 from your offhand to the gauntlets. That's the only mechanical part.
All right.
Everything else is just RP stuff.
All right. So if there's no objection, I'm just going to start passing time.
I'd like to, at some point, when Zaylia and Betha aren't sleeping, I'd kind of go over near her and have, this would be while Ivor is not in the room, and have just kind of a whispered conversation with Zaylia. I don't want us to lose sight of something that we seem to have.
Hold on, because she's sleeping.
Oh well, I'm sorry. I said it would have been during one of the times when we're both awake. So yeah, I don't know if that would have been earlier or later, but because didn't we have time to pass before we could actually start our long rest?
Yeah. So usually you go to bed around like 11 or 12. So is she going to bed early just to sleep extra?
Yeah, she's like.
Oh, okay.
On a level of exhaustion, and she's like mentally and emotionally exhausted as well. So I was just planning to have her like sleep
pass out. All right. So are you gonna wake her, Betha, or are you just gonna leave her?
No,
no,
I would not wake her. Nope. Okay. I would definitely not wake her. In fact, I might have mixed something extra in your tea, like some melanoma or whatever. What's the yeah, like the roots that like make you sleep better or something. Melatonin. Wait, no, have I got it wrong? I don't know. My mom takes it to sleep.
Melatonin. In the morning.
Okay, that's what I meant, not melanoma.
Celia's an early riser, so she'll probably be up before everyone else, but she's definitely going to sleep through all of this. She's trying to avoid everything.
Okay, all good. I'm good, Lou.
Anyone else trying to do anything RP-wise before I pass time or while I'm passing time? Alright, so time is passing. It gets to around 11. The long rest is starting. At this point, everyone needs to eat a day's worth of food to stave off possible exhaustion. I assume you're all eating.
Oh shoot! I forgot to pass Goodberry before we went to sleep.
That's right.
Well, you can still cast it. This is as the rest is starting.
Okay,
then yes, one of my rations.
I would cast Goodberry again.
Yeah, we have rations in the bag of holding too.
I'm spinning one of the ones I have on me.
All right, so if you're not using the Goodberry right away, just mark it down in the daily effects.
Yeah.
So you know how long they're lasting.
I'll eat in the morning.
Just one Goodberry? Alright, so yeah, just one Goodberry is cast. You take some rations from the bag of holding, so spend, I guess, 6 of them for the 6 of you. Of course, the undead. Go ahead.
When would our rest be kind of wrapping up? Did you say 8 a.m.?
So the long rest starts probably around 11. That's when you'd eat and start getting ready for bed, and it wraps up. Let me check for this group.
So could I cast Goodberry at 7 a.m. then?
8 a.m. isn't what it says.
So on the calendar.
Oh, so then it would start at
8
midnight then.
Okay. So yeah, it'd probably start around midnight then.
All right, so I'll record the Goodberry podcast.
You could. You probably. Well, do you have a watch? Does Betha have a watch she's up during?
Do.
Oh, do we not have a watch rotation for this group?
Well, because Ivor said he didn't have to sleep, and he offered to do the whole watch.
I'll go do second watch with Ivor.
I thought you meant like a watch on your wrist. I was like,
I was kind of confused for a moment too.
Never mind. Yeah.
Yeah. If we want to still have someone sit during each watch with Ivor, then we can. We do have watches on one of the sheets.
It's under party info. So if you want, you can put Ivor on all 3 watches.
Got it.
Well, just for tonight, for sure, but.
Well, just in general, if he doesn't have to sleep. But yeah, generally, Betha, you probably. So you want to get your, I think, 6 or 7 hours. I forget what it is. You want to get those in. So you'd probably... Oh, you have a Dawn Watch. So yeah, you could cast Goodberry right before your full rest ends and get your spell slot
All right.
back.
That's what I'll do.
Okay.
And I'll cast it at level 5 times 2.
Alright, so you would do that at the end of the watch, which has not come yet. The watch just started. You all eat your food. And give me another D20 roll.
Alright.
3. Alright. So during during the first watch, which would be evening, kind of evening watch, you would see
I'm sorry.
Cordis finish one of his scries. Who's on this watch?
Did you say
think
first
Donnie-
watch?
I think Donnie
first
was
watch.
out here.
Donnie and Ivor.
They're outside the room though.
Okay, so everyone inside is sleeping.
Well, I'm meditating, so
Yeah, Beltani's watching him.
You have to do what, 4 hours of meditation?
yes,
But this you would be meditating at this time, right?
I believe so. Yes.
Give me a perception at disadvantage, because you probably would be slightly distracted by the meditation.
I believe in you. Yeah.
Alright, so you would see Cordis kind of come out of his scry, looking a bit concerned. He kind of walks over this way towards the door, around everyone while everyone's sleeping. Do you want to do anything?
I will just say to him, Bodak, where are you heading?
I've seen something strange within the main cathedral. I need to check it out.
What have you seen? Before you leave, I need to know what you've seen. I do not want to let you out of my sight.
Are you being threatening or persuasive?
Probably threatening, just because that's my MO with
Give me an intimidation check.
If this is happening close enough to the door and I'm on watch, would I hear it?
I would say probably not, unless you were actively perceiving. What's your passive perception?
Not super high, but I mean, I am on watch, so I am probably actively perceiving. 14 is passive.
So, most of the time you'd be passive when you're on watch, I would think, because it would be kind of straining to just constantly be looking around, unless you
Fair
thought
enough.
something was in the area.
Fair
But
enough.
yeah, I'll say you might hear some noises from the room, as if someone's talking. But he would turn towards Beldani and say, I thought I saw my father within the church area. I need to go see what's going on.
very well, but I'm accompanying you.
And what time is it?
He says, don't you need to stay here and watch your friends?
That's what the watch outside the door is for. I need to watch you to make sure you don't betray us.
He says, come if you must, but remain quiet. Do not let yourself be seen.
Easy
You
enough.
said it's second watch?
This is first watch. This is evening.
So if it's not 1 a.m. yet, then 8 is still up.
Alright, so he opens the door, at which point you see Donnie and Ivor kind of sitting out there. And he would walk past you both. You both see him.
If it looks like
You guys going up?
Yeah.
I will let both Donnie and Ivor know that the Bodek has seen something in the cathedral, thinks that he's seen his father, and is going to check it out. I refuse to let him go unaccompanied, so I will be following him.
Would you care
Seems
for
like
some?
we're going on a road trip.
Very well. At least one of us should stay behind. Donnie, if you are interested in tagging along, then I will stay behind. If you would prefer to stay, then I will go.
He says, Donnie, he's not quiet. I need people who will be quiet. I'm going stealthily.
That is a good point. To be frank, I am not all that quiet myself.
He says, "Well, just have
Why
your
do I have to be asleep?
friend Beldani come with me."
Ivor,
I-
perhaps you can send your friend with me.
That was exactly my question. Yes. I'll ask Tinder, because I would assume that. Well, actually, it was a good question. Is Tinder awake? Does Tinder need to sleep?
Tinder would say, "Yes, I could go with him if you need me to keep an eye on things."
I certainly would appreciate it. Go with Donnie go with Beldani and keep an eye on the both of them. And if anything out of the ordinary happens, please let me know. And if it looks like Beldani is in dire straits, do what you can to help him immediately.
I shall.
Reports on the hour. If I don't hear back from you every hour, I'm coming after you. And that time, next time, I won't stop swinging.
He says, "Well, then it'll be no different than from before." And with that, he kind of runs forward and leaps, landing over here. Stepping carefully, he seems to know exactly where to step to avoid the pressure plates as he moves this way.
As Tinder is leaving to accompany them, I would just like to ask Tinder, is there a limit on how far we can communicate? I don't think that we've had reason yet to test that.
One other thing I would have said. Before he left, he would have pushed a button behind the desk here. And the bars seem to be open when he gets out here.
Bob, yeah, son of a bitch.
He would get over here and he would kind of wait a moment and you would see the bars go back up. He says, "Now you are stuck out here with me." Sorry, what did you say to Tinder?
I asked him if he knew if there was a limit on how far we could communicate.
He would say, I would guess, well, it's a good question, actually. Let me look at his ability.
I think it's 120 feet if he works like a normal familiar.
Fortunately, he doesn't, because I'll tell you what a familiar can't do. Fucking shoot thin green rays at people.
You mean imps can't normally just disintegrate things?
What?
We've been
My
hanging
favorite
out
part
with the
about
wrong
that
imps.
is that he was completely within the Nubasu shroud for that whole thing. Motherfuckers.
So I'm gonna say 120 feet with the telepathy, as most demons I think have that range.
Okay. Well then, yeah, I would imagine that's probably further than we have. So I'll just say if he expects that he is out of range, to just come back and let me know what's going on. Oh, holy shit! Actually, maybe. Okay.
It's a lot further than you think.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, I wouldn't have a real good grasp on this, but in the interest of trying to get as much distance as we can have, well, fuck, that's a magical effect.
Yeah, don't go in the magic field.
I could go in it,
You
but
doing some balancing right now?
no, I was just I'm peeking my head around the corner to see where because there's a rope. We've set up pittance, so I can at least get this far.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to trigger that blade, but I'm going to peek my head around the corner just to recall where the field ends. No, it's not. Yeah, nope. Okay, here it is. That's as close as I get. Yep, I'll just say if he doesn't hear a response, I might be out of range, and to close the gap, if he doesn't mind.
So I will attempt to get in touch with you.
Can
I'll
I
fly back a bit?
Can I insight check that? Does he seem genuine in his intention to get in touch with me? Well,
Yeah. Don't see why he would be lying about that.
Friend, why would, yeah, it's great to have a pet. Yeah.
he's a devil. Why would he lie?
So glad Gildas didn't have to roll insight on his familiars.
He's been pretty honest with you so far, as far
That's
as
true.
you can tell.
Yeah, you've also been picking up his powers and returning them to him.
Yeah.
I know. I think so far the only time he's actually said something that wasn't true is when he said he was tapped out, and then he had enough juice to dispel magic, but it ended up working out for us. So.
Huh.
Cool. Well, that's it for me.
So when he gets to this point, he says, I think I see a demon up ahead. Use care, and he is going to start stealthing.
All right, I will follow suit.
Hey, give me a stealth check.
Is this sound and vision, or just sound?
It would be sound and
Or-
vision based.
Alright, so it's not with advantage, just a straight roll.
Nice.
All right, so you move forward. Actually, let me check something about this demon. All right, so it is familiar. It is one of the demons you saw before. One of the more powerful ones that you defeated. As it kind of clops down the hallway, you would see it move past, but it does not notice you two walking through the shadows. And
This is so intense.
Cordis sort of puts his hands out, asking you to wait a moment. Do you want to do anything?
I'm just going to stick right by his side, so if he moves ahead, I will follow, but if he's stopped there, I will stay there for a moment.
Alright, so you hear the footsteps coming back again, clopping as the creature moves over the debris. And I'm guessing none of you can see through or see what's going on, right? As you're back
Correct.
Alright. So
The rest
you
of
would,
us, anyway.
Yeah. So you would hear him kind of go down the hallway, and then, actually, oh no, there's a cave in there. He can't go that way. Alright. So yeah, Cordis starts moving again. You're actually somewhat impressed with how stealthy he is. If he was a rune master, he seems to be pretty adept in moving quietly. So he would move around the corner and come down the hallway this way. And whisper to you and say, the smashing traps are ahead. I'm guessing you don't know how to move over them without triggering them.
I have not spotted the pressure plates, but I'm sure if I take a look and if you would show them to me, I would have no problem tiptoeing my way around.
He says, alright, if you can watch where I step and mimic me, then you should be okay. So give me a perception check. Alright, so he begins moving across. Looks like he's very particular about where he places his steps, sort of moving between the pressure plates. And you kind of follow suit. With a 20, you are able to copy him, which gets you to the other side.
Nice.
He would look around and say, we're almost there. Careful. So he comes down this way.
Sneaking with the Bodak.
Sneaking with the Bodak. And he would get to the door. He sighs, seeming a bit nervous. He says, whispers, I don't know why a vision of my father might be here, or what the purpose of it is. I'm hoping, he says, I don't know. I'm not sure if I should even try to talk to it. Obviously, it's not my father. But I think observing it will maybe bring me some information.
Very well. I will remain silent.
He nods. He says, it might be best if you stayed back and just observed. So, are you going to remain back here, or are you coming into the room with him as he's pushing the door open?
I'm definitely going into the room, but I'm going to sneak into the room to try and remain hidden from whatever is inside.
Alright, so he pushes the door open, pushing it inward, remarking on how the door seems to be broken for some reason.
For some reason.
Oh, David, were you here that week? Donnie broke it.
Yes, Donnie.
I'm sure he's impressed by just how broken it is.
This door isn't just like regular broke. It's fucking rogue.
In all the arts of brakemanship that he's seen, this is the best.
Give me a stealth check, Donnie.
All right.
Mashing ship.
Alright.
Man, good rolls.
So he is kind of sneaking up towards the front, where you see his father standing near the altar, or at least what you believe is his father. You said you're staying back here?
I am going to creep up to probably about here, hiding behind one of the pews to give myself some cover. But I want to be able to keep both the Bodek and his father, whether it's an illusion or not, well within my dark vision range.
All right. So he walks up to the man and kind of taps him on the shoulder, and the figure, his father, turns around and says something to him. What languages do you speak?
Just common and elvish and thieves' cant.
All right. So they begin speaking back and forth in a language you don't understand.
$20, as I know what it is.
Does Tinder... Ah, fuck. Tinder's too far to tell me, probably.
But presumably Tinder can hear me. If I whispered to...
Well, you're not sure where Tinder is. He never actually landed on your shoulder, as far as you could tell.
Okay.
You assume he's somewhere in here, but
I just let him loose.
You're not sure exactly where he went, because he didn't exactly stay with you.
Plus, if Tinder actually returns, that we just released that demon.
Well, he wasn't really trapped with, with Ivor. He was just with him for the time being. He had chosen to follow him.
That was more of a joke than anything.
All right. So you watch them talking. Give me an insight check. You see a bit of, you would guess is kind of a sadness on the face of Cordis as his father, or what you assume is his father, kind of talks to him, and he would nod and say something back as their conversation continues.
Now, I don't speak the language, but would I have any chance of at least recognizing what the language is?
Give me an intelligence check to see if you can piece it together.
Okay. Chances are probably not, but worth a roll.
You never know.
It sounds like Dwarven.
All right.
So as they're talking, you see another figure walk out from the back of the room. It is the priestess from when you first entered this place.
The who?
She was one of the apparitions we saw before we saw Cordis's dad.
Yes.
We
She was the
saw
one looking
female
sad at the
dwarf.
statue that spawned the Orcus.
She was the one who
Although
was
we
at
didn't know her name. She didn't tell us her name.
Yep. Fuck. Okay.
And she kind of walks up behind Cordis, and he notices her, and his expression changes a bit as he looks back at his father, saying something, seemingly surprised. She says something to him, and his expression changes more from surprise to anger. He says something forcefully back at her. Do you want to do anything, Beldani?
I will ready a radiant crossbow bolt in my hand crossbow and creep forward about 3 pew rows.
Give me a stealth check.
Nice.
Alright, so you remain very quiet, creeping forward as she continues to talk to him. He sort of looks down as if feeling ashamed, and she begins to chant, at which point he looks at her again with a look of surprise and kind of backs off a bit. Do you want to do anything, Beldani?
I'm just keeping my crossbow readied and just observing what's happening, and I'm not going to interfere just yet.
Alright. So, he would look angrily at her again as she finishes whatever spell she's casting, and he seems to go on guard at this point, pointing at her and doing some sort of chant. His father behind him draws a weapon, a dagger, and you would see as he finishes his chant, several bolts of energy fly from him. Looks like some kind of magic missile, and strike her. She stumbles back, and at this point you would see several demons.
Oh, sorry, was
rise.
that the father dwarf that struck her, or Cordis who struck
That was
her?
Cordis.
Cordis cast a spell at her.
The father has a knife, I think.
Yeah. Cordis cast the spell angrily, and at which point, after the spell resolved, you would see several demons seemingly appear from nowhere.
But the casting Cordis did finished whenever the bolts went off, correct?
Yes. So 3 of these creatures appear as she backs off from him, and they would rush in at her, attacking. Beldani, what are you doing?
I am striking with my radiant crossbow bolt on Cordis.
Alright, so you're attacking him?
Yes.
Give me an initiative roll.
Dun, dun, dun. All right, Tinder, please communicate what's going on.
Also, he, whether assuming that he's in there, he does have a friendly request to start blasting if shit looks hairy for you. So, I'm holding out hope that he just fucking yeets a guy, but who knows?
Alright, so I'll put Tinder in there too.
I was. And when you strike someone with a spell and suddenly demons appear and start attacking the same person, it's like, okay, clearly the demons are on your side then.
Yeah, super convenient. Out of game, I'm wondering if he has some sort of
Curse?
effect on him that just causes demons to protect him. What a wild time that would be.
Oh
Well,
no!
also, I
my
wonder
Thea
if
was
there's-
asking earlier about the whole Orcus like tainting something to where it can hijack the magic and make something else happen. Like,
Well,
the wild.
have we been casting each time we had one of the demons randomly appear? Like maybe there's something like there's a trigger, you know?
So-
Nobody was casting anything when the Nabasu showed up.
So, Beldani,
Okay.
Was
you would be the first to act, Beldani, with the 18. So you're shooting at Cordis, right?
Yes.
All right, give me an attack roll. He would not be aware of you, so you do have advantage.
All right, so nope. We'll go with a 20.
So 20 would strike as you pop out, attacking and striking for
27 damage. And he needs to make a strength saving throw.
He looks over at you as you pop out, and he yells, "Why?" as he fails his strength saving throw and is knocked prone. After you, Cordis goes.
Before
Yeah.
I'm going to use my movement to close the gap between him and basically be standing over his prone body.
So he's going to stand up on his turn. And he is going to look angrily at you, look angrily at the priestess. He is going to activate his aura. He's pulling out his Bodak powers now. So yeah, he activates his aura as necrotic energies spew forth for 30 feet. And he is going to point at Jadefall, and she has to make a save. I think a con save, right? Yeah, so he uses Withering Gaze, so she has to make a con save. She would fail and take some damage. 25 points of necrotic damage. And she kind of stumbles back, trying to keep her eyes on the demons as well as Cordis now. For her turn, she is going to. You're at 78, Beldani?
I am.
She is going to point at you, seeing that you might be slightly wounded, and cast a healing spell. She'll do Healing Word.
Okay.
So that's D4, I think. She'll cast it first level. You would gain 9 hit points, feel a little bit better, and she is going to take the dodge action, yelling, Durhan! We have to get out of here. Or Durhath, sorry. For Durhath's turn, he looks to Beldani and says, "You, I remember you. What are you doing here?" And he, well, actually, wait, never mind. He's more concerned with Cordis at this point. So he would say, "Son, you must stop this." And he is going to attempt to grapple him. So he would indeed succeed, grabbing hold of him, and he's going to try to use another grapple to wrestle him to the ground. Which he would fail to do just yet. So for Tinder's turn, can he do this? He is going to fly over to the wall, and Ivor, you get a message that shit is going down in the cathedral.
Okay, I will. Oh, fuck. Okay, so my intention is to act immediately. What would that require with the current situation? Do I need to roll, or would I? Do I have the ability to take my turn now?
Well, what are you trying to do? Like,
I
run
would.
towards them, or?
Yeah, my intention. Get there. Well, first, yeah, first thing I would do if I have any sort of economy in this situation would be to tell Donnie that shit is going down and then make my way to the cathedral.
Alright, so I probably won't make you all play through getting past the traps and getting there. I might just slow it down a bit, so it might take you a few turns to arrive. Just because it would be kind of a pain to have you, making rolls for every trap, and it's
Sure,
probably
yeah.
not the most exciting. So is the group going to sort of be waking up and going to try to help?
I don't think that he said that he came and told us.
Yep, the only
You just
person
told
I told,
Donnie.
I just told Donnie. Yeah,
Alright.
I specifically not telling anybody else.
So
But
Donnie,
if Donnie wants to, he could.
are you going, or are you waking people, or what are you doing? Are you muted, Donnie?
Looks like he's moving.
Sorry, yeah, I was muted. Yeah, I'm going. Honestly, let's do this. Then yeah, I would yell, shit's going down pretty loudly, but I'm not opening the door. So
Everyone asleep, make a perception check at disadvantage. I'll say the DC is probably 10. Maybe like a 13 since the door is closed. Oh, never mind. So Theo, you are awoken by the yell. Huh?
Why in the hell are people separated and fighting?
It's my fault. I
If we
couldn't
are
let the
just told
Bodak
shit's
go.
going down, we're not going to have any idea where.
Wake up, Batha and Zalia.
Right,
Holy
apparently
shit.
Zalia's up to. Ugh,
Oh,
what?
Zalia's gonna be so pissed.
What about Betha? Is she snoring? Yeah, she's
Yep.
snoring.
if Theo was louder, I'm sure he would be able to wake her.
Oh yeah, well that's up to him if they want to wake her. Theo and Zalia, what do you want to do? You heard Donnie yell, which woke you up.
What is it? What's he yelling about?
If Donnie's yelling, that means danger.
But just mean he is hungry.
Where's Beldani and Cordis?
Could just mean he's hungry. Is that what you said?
I mean, she's not wrong.
I don't know. Oh my god, I have the most pounding headache.
Alright, so I'm going to switch back for now while you guys are getting up because stuff would still be going down.
Would
Do Donnie and I mean, in this round, do Donnie and Ivor get any closer at least? Because they would have immediately started going.
I booked it right off the bat.
Yeah, so sure, let's give me
I'm like dashing.
Give me initiative turns. Maybe we'll have you just see how well you get through the traps. I mean, most of them are disarmed anyway. So
Should we all roll initiative that way?
Yeah, sure. Add yourselves in.
Fuckers.
You're a little far away, but we'll see how this turns out. All right.
And poor Zalia still hasn't got her rest.
So I'll have you guys start moving and joining in next round. So at the bottom of the round, the Ten of Rook go. They are all going for the Priestess, who is trying to hold them off. Oh, so they go for Great Sword bite attacks as they kind of surround her. They would strike her twice, doing a total of 15 points of damage as they are surrounding her and mauling her. And she takes some more hits, but still, luckily, is not looking too wounded. That's it for the Tanaruk. Beldani. So this guy is being grappled by his father, who's kind of yelling at him and has his weapon out.
Since that's technically the end of the round, should you restart the turn order?
Yeah, let me redo it. Ivor, let's jump to you.
5, 10, 15, 20, 30.
So are you doing acrobatics?
I certainly can.
I guess you
thought
could have
guys said
jumped that too, because it's only a 5-foot jump.
Right. Yep. And I will be dashing as well.
So how are you getting past this one?
I'm just gonna do my best to avoid
running through it?
the triggers. Yeah.
Alright, so you just run through it, and the blades come out. Give me a dex save. Oh yeah. You do get a little bit cut, because unfortunately you don't have evasion, but you only take... Let's see... 9 points of damage. Slashing. As you continue running through, and you would get through with that hit.
So that's 5, 10. Ooh, whoa, what have I done? 5, 10, 15, where I believe the field ends.
Yes.
And I will activate my boots to continue moving.
Just flying.
20, 25, 30 feet, which is, well, might as well make it 30 feet, which I think is all of my movement. Do I have anything else to do? I don't think that I do.
So the bars are closed right now.
Oh, fuck, yeah.
Because they closed up after he went through.
Yep. I will yell back to Donnie, push the button! I completely forgot about that.
But did
Technically, we were all asleep whenever we pushed the button.
Yeah,
So
did
Donnie-
Beldani tell Donnie and Ivor about the button after watching?
They probably would have
Bodak hit
seen, because the Bodak
Okay.
would have hit it as he was leaving. So they would have
Okay.
probably seen him do it. They would have seen the button behind the dresser.
Okay, cool.
But that's it for Ivor. Betha.
Can I hear Ivor screaming about a button?
Yes, but you have no idea what he's talking about.
Can I look around and try to perceive a button?
Yeah, if you want to make an active perception. With an 18, you probably would not see it.
Okay.
It's not that obvious. So you're
What
just like,
effing button?
Where's the button? What
The hell? Don't you understand the purpose of arrest these fools? Zalia needs sleep.
Zalia.
She got nothing.
So, the anti-magic zone.
Yeah.
Would I have the sense that Nettle could get through it?
So
Could
Nettle...
like operate on the other side of it with instruction from me, or
I think
if
Nettle is permanent. She's not like a time summon. So I don't think it would necessarily affect her ability to just fly through. I mean, she's magical, but she... I don't think, because she doesn't have a time limit. She's not like being held in your world by summon magics.
I mean, like tieflings and elves are magical creatures, but they don't get like.
Yeah, so I think she could fly through it. She couldn't use any of her abilities while in it, like to communicate with you, but it wouldn't like destroy her, I don't think.
So I'm gonna send her to him. Now you got me doing it. I'm gonna send him to investigate.
Okay.
So I don't know. He could probably get, with double movement, he could probably get out into to here or so, right?
So I guess being an owl, he could probably go through the bars, because owls are pretty skinny.
Yeah, he's tiny.
So he would go over there. What's he investigating?
He's gonna go find Donnie.
Oh, okay. So he's just flapping. So he can move 120 if he double flew. Did you say find Donnie or Beldani?
He's gonna find Donnie.
Well, Donnie's right next to you.
Oh, I thought Donnie went ahead.
No, Beldani went ahead.
I know Beldani went ahead.
And Ivor ran ahead too.
Donnie's initiative hasn't happened yet.
Right. So what I'll tell him, seeing Donnie there, I thought Donnie had gotten further ahead than that.
No, he was. Donnie was kind of getting ready to go, but then everyone kind of woke up and ran out here.
I'll tell Nettle to find the others and have him just keep going till he finds everyone. So I'll stop at Donnie and say, Donnie, what happened? Where is everyone? Where's Beldani? Where's Ivor?
All right, so Donnie's turn. What are you doing?
So Donnie knows about the button, right?
Yes.
So Donnie would yell to the group here saying, go to the dresser, press the button so we can get through the gate. I'm faster, I'm going ahead.
Okay. So
And he also would say, Beldani's in trouble. Fucking Bodak, why didn't you let me kill him? And so, with that, 5, 10, using the rope, 15, 20, 25. And this is a trap, right?
yeah, you could jump past it pretty easily, though.
I was going to say, can I jump these?
Yeah,
So that's 25, 30, 35,
Yep.
40, 45, 50.
So you're jumping that.
Yep, jumping that.
Oh.
55, 60. Jumping this. 70 here. 75.
So these, as far as you knew, had pressure plates.
We had disarmed these pressure plates because we were sitting there after we got past the ropes.
Oh,
It's
that's
the
right.
only it's the only
Okay.
pressure plates. It's the only trap we disabled.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Well-
everything's disabled up to the
Except
blade
for the
traps.
2 blades, yeah. All right, so you get up to there. Anything else?
Can I save my action dash?
You can ready a
For when
dash,
the-
yeah.
Yeah, so can I ready a dash for when the gates open to dash?
Yes.
How the fuck did you move 80 feet without a dash?
Bonus action aggressive.
Is there? Don't you have to have an enemy for that?
You actually do have to have an enemy to do that.
The traps are enemies.
The traps
Yeah,
are not
okay.
enemies. Nettle!
I think I have to. I don't think I have to. That you can see, or I guess I technically can't hear the enemy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So no, I can't save my action. Then dash.
I assumed you'd use your dash to get there.
Yeah, I would have used my dash to get there if I can't use aggressive.
Okay, so that would be it for Donnie. Beldani, what are you doing?
First, Theo, I'm assuming you've switched your armor back, so I no longer have the dagger +2?
Correct.
All right. So that means I will be stabbing at the Bodak with the dagger of Asyok.
Okay. Oh yeah, 27 would strike.
Oh, sorry. Ignore that second one.
As you get a nasty stab on him, and he says, "Why are you attacking me?" As he takes 31. And you did start in his aura. So
I did.
You would take 5 necrotic damage.
Is that already halved?
No. And he does have his death gaze going at this point. He would have done that. So I do need a con save. As his eyes crackle with necrotic energy. Alright, so you do resist, luckily keeping from being overwhelmed by death magic. And I don't think you take any psychic damage, no. So you're fine. Anything else?
I'm going to disengage, bonus action, and then move out of the aura.
Okay.
And that will be my turn.
Cordis goes.
Now, Luke, here's a quick question for you. I don't know, because I did say a lot of things. Well, I said a few things during my last turn. If at the end of my turn, like while I was flying down the hallway, I had the opportunity to do so, I would have liked to have responded to Tinder and said, "We're coming through the gate. If you can," well, I'll say, "We're coming through the gate. I don't know if you have any juice, but if you do, get me into that room." And that's it.
What can he do?
I mean, I would assume that he can't do it immediately anyway, but
I'm picturing that he picked up some amazing new abilities each time you absorbed those stupid little flames.
he might have. What I'm specifically, so my thought process for this is that during the fight with where we got found out in our disguises, he did teleport me down the hallway somehow. So he might have to fucking fly down the hallway and touch me or something. But that's what I'm thinking of anyway.
So on Cordis's turn, he kind of looks at Beldani retreating, but he is going to keep going for the priestess. He would point at her using his withering gaze again, and she has to make a con save. She would make it this time, taking half damage. So she takes 10 points as she is withered by necrotic energy. And you would see flames from behind you, Beldani. As several creatures begin to seemingly appear from nowhere.
Oh dear.
They growl angrily, looking towards you. Luzuna, what's she gonna do? She sees the demons. She's not liking how this is going. She is going to cast Sanctuary on Belt. Well, wait, can she even do that? I think you're out of range, actually. Yeah.
Besides, what are the chances he's not going to attack next turn?
That's true. She would say, "Get out of here. You can't fight them all." And she is going to do a flame strike spell. Targeting Cordis. If I can find the spell, there it is. So see Chance bringing down Radiant Fire on him as a 10-foot radius and a cylinder come down upon him. He has to make a dex save. Oh, he would fail. So 8d6. Let me check something real quick. Yeah, so it'd be 8d6 as he is wreathed in flame. He takes 31 points of damage and would look a bit wounded at this point. She finishes her turn. Dorhath yells something in Dwarvish as he tries to push him to the floor again, dagger up, threatening him.
Also, the Jadefall girl spoke in Common or in Dwarvish?
She spoke in Common to Beldani. She told him to get out of here. And she is going... Well, he pushes him to the floor, tries to, but fails. And I think he is just going to try to stab him at this point. Crit. So he gets a nasty stab with the dagger. Although it is just a dagger, unfortunately, doing 8 points of damage. Tinder is going to start chanting using a spell. And Donnie, you would see something strange, some sort of magical portal appear on the floor over here, outside the gate.
Damn it! I want to run the whole way.
That's
That
fucking cool. I'm sorry, that's fucking cool.
that would be it for Theo. Or sorry, no, that would be it for. Wait, yeah, Tinder just went. So Theo, what are you gonna do? Or actually,
So it's-
no, he couldn't do that. Never mind. I didn't think of that. Plus,
So
you didn't see anyway. Go ahead. Sorry.
I see this wall isn't filling up the entire square. Would it by chance be 2 feet thick?
You would guess it's probably more like 4 or 5 feet thick. Maybe 3 if you're lucky.
I guess, can I check for the button?
Yeah, so if you search that spot in particular behind the dresser over here, go ahead and give me either investigation or perception.
Please find the button. Please.
I
Alright, so 16 would actually be enough, and you do find a button on the wall behind the chest.
Fuck yeah.
I press it.
Alright, the gate goes down. And yeah, you would see this strange arcane sigil on the floor burning here. It looks like some kind of portal. That's it for Theo, or you're moving, right?
That's all my movement.
Alright, the Taranuk go. They are going to attack her again. With Bite and Greatsword. So she is struck with the Greatsword twice and the Bite once for 24, 33, and she's looking wounded now. Oh! And that is it for them. Ivor.
I'll fly 30 feet and touch down on the ground on top of this sigil.
Alright, so you immediately appear there.
Yeet.
As everything looks really weird for a moment, and yeah, it almost gets you a little bit dizzy as your surroundings just change instantly as you move there. So you still have the rest of your movement.
That would actually be all, unless I dashed it. That is exactly what I had. So as soon as I come in, I'm just gonna okay. See, hold on. I'm just gonna yell, "Which one?"
the Bodek.
Okay. I will then loose. I've actually never fought. Well, okay, you did tell me about Bodex though. What is the best option here? Well, fuck. Home Skillet is like right on top of him though.
Yeah, they're kind of wrestling with each other.
Yeah, unless 5'10", 5'10". Let me pull this out. That would actually work if I want to do that. Okay. Decisions.
So what are you casting?
Yep. I'm contemplating. But yeah, I think I am gonna. Yeah, I will commit to that. I will cast Flame Strike on that moment, but I imagine it probably looks quite a bit different than the Dwarvish lady's heavenly illustration. I'll just sort of like clench my fist and turn it upwards as the ground crackles and a blast of, quote, divine energy comes up underneath his feetsies.
Alright, so as you're casting, he would turn towards you and you would meet his gaze. So I think I need a con save. Because you weren't averting your gaze. As
That's
his
true.
eyes crackle with necrotic energy.
Is that what this whole... I was wondering what that was for. Okay, and you guys did educate me on Bodax, right?
I think so, yes.
I think you did.
Yeah. We've been chasing him long enough. I'm sure we have.
Yeah. I'm gonna use one of my inspiration for this. You said con?
Con save, yep. Luckily you did, because 18 would be enough, and you resist the gaze for the time being.
Fuck 'em.
Anything else?
Just the execution of that flame strike. So
he
let
has
me
to make another dex save, right?
dex save. Yep.
As does one of the Tanarooks.
Yep.
And I'll roll these separately.
Oh, he would fail his dex save. So he takes 15 fire and 11. Or wait, actually, that's right. Being a Bodak, he has some resistances here. So he would take 7 fire and 11 holy or divine or whatever. Radiant. Yeah.
I like to imagine it's just extra toasty.
It's holy fire. So he looks further wounded as the flames hit him, and the Tanarook, who is also resistant to fire, would attempt his dex save. And he is resistant to magic as well. But he would fail, rolling too low for him, unfortunately. So he takes 11 and 7. So 18.
Okay.
He roars angrily at you. Anything else, Ivor?
I think that's all I've got.
Alright, Betha.
Ooh, here's a question. When I got teleported in, I would assume I'm on the ground.
Yes.
Awesome.
I'm to, I guess, start running after the sounds of my scampering, receding allies. 5, 10, 15.
Oh, and fault Zalia. She just went back to sleep.
20, 25, and then I will use the rope to dash 5, 10, 15, 20.
You got a dex check at that corner, though. Don't forget.
I'm going to become a tiny spider.
Alright, so you shapeshift as your action.
And so I would end up on the wall right here. I'm not on the floor.
Yeah.
Isn't that an 18 magic?
Even if oh, that's true. Well, yeah, I don't think you could shapeshift here because of the anti-magic.
Oh, can I?
Because it's still a super natural.
All right, let me do
ability.
the dex check to jump around this
actually,
corner.
is what type of ability is that? I guess it would be a magic.
Druidic. It's druidic magic, yeah.
Yeah. So now that would probably be blocked.
All right, so then I'll do the dex check to try and get here before it's shifting.
Well, I mean, what's your strength? Because you could just jump it.
-6. Or I'm 6. That's -2.
I was like, oh my god.
So yeah, I mean, you could jump 6 feet over that corner there because it's only a 5-foot jump.
Then she jumps because she had 5 feet of movement left on her dash.
Right, so she leaps over that corner and ends her turn.
And actually, I can't shapeshift anyway because I dashed. I keep forgetting. I'm so used to Moon Druid. So she can't shapeshift anyway. Let me see. Do I have anything useful for a bonus action? I don't think so.
Alright, Zalia.
No. Yeah, I'm done.
Lou, is it before or after dawn?
It is still well, it was the first watch, so it's still nighttime. It's like right before night.
So I'll go 5, 10.
Well, then Donnie, Theo, and Betha still have a level 4 aid on them.
20,
Probably, yeah.
25.
So time-wise, it would probably be about 2 a.m. at this point. If you want the exact time for your spells.
No, my staff recharges at dawn, regardless of whether.
Oh no, that probably wouldn't be recharged yet.
Yeah, that's right.
What time did
Dawn.
When
it's not. No. So.
Lou, did you say 1 a.m.?
2 a.m.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It keeps cutting out for me. I'm not hearing you.
1 a.m., he said.
Okay, that's 2 a.m. Okay, so 8 expired at 1. So, okay.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay. So, this corner, so Betha's past the blades?
Yes, she jumped
I'm
over.
between them. I'm past the first set, yeah.
And she's in that spot, so I can't
I
really get...
am. Actually, because I'm a halfling, I think that I can occupy the space of other creatures without penalty, but I don't know if that helps you.
Okay. So, what do I need to get around this corner?
So as long as you have a strength of 5 or of over 5, you could jump that.
Okay. So I will.
All right.
And then this was the blade that was still active too?
Yes.
So I would need a dex check to get by it?
Yeah, you need to do acrobatics to balance
All right,
between the pressure plates.
then I'm at disadvantage because... So this should be...
All right, so you attempt to stay between the pressure plates, but you are kind of wounded, making this harder. Oh, but you would manage to do it. So you move through and get to here or past it, wherever, without issue.
30, 35, 40...
Oh, and I'm going to put the camera over here, because I forgot to. Anything else?
Yeah, it looks like I can get to there with a dash, so that's where I will go, and the end of my turn.
Were you balancing along the side for this one?
Oh yeah, do I need dex check?
We put pittance and rope up.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That's right. You spent that. So if that's still there, sure, you could use that.
Okay.
I don't think you took it away.
Not
All
that
right.
one.
So that's it for Zalia. Donnie.
I'm assuming since I was running before, it would be a continued motion run to jump over this.
Sure.
5, 10, 15, 20.
So you as well rush into there. You teleport right into Ivor. Splat. No, I'm just kidding. You would poof through, and luckily, I think you can both be there, but you obviously can't end there because he's there.
Yeah, and that's fine because I only use 20 feet of movement. So am I on the ground or am I standing?
You are on the ground Well, I mean, you're standing on the ground. You're flat.
Yeah, okay, so I'm standing. I don't need to use half my movement to stand back up. Oh shit, those are some big beasties.
Things are going
So
down in the cathedral late at night.
Yeah, I see fuck all Bodak,
It's
and
midnight mass.
yeah, he looks angry. So we're gonna go. So that was 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 5, 10, 15, 20.
Right.
And would I get a quick look at... Sorry.
No, go ahead. I was just checking something.
Would I get a quick look at, like, Beldani and this new dude and get an impression that it's probably fuck all Bodak?
Well, you see the Bodak is struggling with this guy who's holding him and looks like he's yelling at him in some language you don't speak, trying to stab him. She is under attack by the 3 demons. She sees you but doesn't say anything to you yet because she's yelling at Beldani right now to, get to safety. And you would see at the back of the room these beasts are getting ready to rush at Beldani, it looks like.
So I am pretty sure I'm swinging at the Bodak at this point.
Okay, so you rush
yep.
up. He's prone. No, he's not prone. That's right. He's just being held. So you go ahead and make your attack.
24.
Let me check something really quick. Okay. 24 would strike with your first attack. Oh. So he is struck for 11? Or no?
No, it's two-handed, 14. Yep. I have the indicator on, so you can't yell at me for that.
And go ahead and do the radiant damage.
I am not raging.
Oh, alright. So he would take 14
I am out of rages, unfortunately.
And he's looking pretty wounded at this point.
So we'll go ahead and take another swing at him. You hit.
Nice.
Takes
Only
another
9 points of damage.
Yep, takes another 9, and he is looking very wounded. He's still up. Beldani, what are you gonna do?
I am going to take my movement to move back in,
Alright.
and
So as you're moving in at him, you would meet his gaze. So
Yes.
give me a con save.
Would I need to do that as well?
No, because you didn't start your turn close to him like Beldani did. It's more about... Oh, but you did end your turn there, Donnie, so you take 5 necrotic. If you end your turn in his aura, you take 5 necrotic. If you start your turn within the 30 feet, and you have a chance of meeting his gaze.
I have resistance against necrotic, and that's based off of a ring, not raging, so I only take 2.
Yeah.
I was technically outside the 30 feet when I started
were
my
you?
turn. Yeah, I was right here at the edge and then moved 30 feet to close the gap.
Alright, so then you are okay with the site, I believe.
And then actually, I have a follow-up question then for that as well, because I did not start my turn here. I got yeeted in. Would I also have had to make that save, or no?
Maybe not.
Okay.
15 would strike him.
All right. For a total of 32 damage.
Alright, so
Dead.
you get another nasty sneak attack, which would drop him. His eyes flame up for a moment, and then he just falls over dead. Anything else?
I'm assuming the demons don't disappear. They're
No,
still here.
They're still here.
Unfortunate.
I am going to let's see. Trying to figure out if there's anywhere where I can break a line of sight to all of the demons. I'm going to move between these two pews here and use my bonus action to attempt to hide.
Alright, so you jump down between the pews and use your bonus action. So go ahead and roll a stealth check. The priestess seems a bit sad, but she would just nod. She is going to turn towards the demons and...
Does the auras from the Bodak go away, I'm hoping, at least?
Yeah, the aura went away.
Okay.
Do I see all the Rune Master stuff in here go out?
No, the Rune Master stuff is still there. You just can't channel energies through it anymore. So, what's she gonna do?
So much from getting the answers from him.
Yeah.
She is going to... she's gonna try to heal herself with a healing word. She'll cast that at level 3. So 3d4. So she would gain 12, and she's going to take the dodge action, hoping that you guys can help her out. She is dodging. Durhath seems sad as well, but he is going to rush over here and attempt to help her, pulling out his sword now, replacing his dagger with a sword and attacking this guy. He would stab for 12 points of damage on the demon, which seems very angered by the attack, turning towards him. That is it for him. Tinder goes. He is going to do stuff in the shadows. Theo, you're up. What do you want to do?
That's 20 feet, anti-magic field, so movement's reduced by 10 feet. Dash action to try and get another 20 feet. And then, can I try and hop from this spot to this spot, or would that activate a trap 2 from seeing the trap?
Well, what's your strength again?
8.
So you could jump to Betha Square. That would just be difficult terrain, though, because that's only a 5-foot jump from the corner here.
Alright, so jump to there. So that put me at 15, but I'm in difficult terrain, so I guess I'll wait here with Betha for now.
Alright, so you end your turn. Actually, the Tanaruk go. I don't know why I put them ahead. They are going to go for Priest Lady, roaring and swinging. Die. So they all attack her.
Wait, how many of them were? I can't see the room, and just for log purpose, there were 2 Tanaruk, and what else?
There are 3 Tanaruk
Tanaruk
and 4 Shusuva. But
It's a mess.
They get 2 attacks each. So she is struck several times.
Wasn't there a Nafeshni as well?
Not in the room.
No, not in the room.
Not in the room.
Oh, okay,
No,
good.
Feshni was in the hall.
Oh, but they
But
are
okay.
at
in the room.
disadvantage. So that cuts out, let's see, a couple of these. So this one would miss, but these 2, he doesn't crit. So she takes... Ooh, I still got her good. She would take some damage, and she is slain. The Shusuva go. They are going to dash forward at poor Ivor. Because I think you're the easiest target. Well, these 2 are going to go for Ivor. These 2 are going to go for the dwarf over here. So, Ivor, one of them jumps forward, biting at you. Snarl. 14 versus AC.
Fortunately, that would not be enough.
So you would dodge out of the way of the first attack, and 11 with the tail stinger. Wow, those are terrible rolls. That would miss you. This one comes up this way, jumping over the benches, roaring and snarling. And it as well is going to take 2 attacks. 15, I think, would miss.
It would miss.
All right,
Yep.
so he bites at you with that, but I think 24 would strike with the tail.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so you are struck for 13 piercing, and I need a con saving throw. You are. Oh, so you become poisoned. While poisoned, you're paralyzed. You can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of the turn, and this will end when you make the save. So you're poisoned and paralyzed right now, as it looks like it's getting ready to attack you again. These 2 are going to go for the ghost. Snarl, snarl, bite. He is able to get the tail stingers away, but he gets bit once, taking 30 piercing damage. Wow, that was a good roll. Because he's trying to fight them off. That's it for the Shusuva. Ivor. I think you are paralyzed, unfortunately. But you can make a con save at the end of your turn. Alright, so you, unfortunately, are still paralyzed. Betha.
I'm going to become a giant wolf spider.
You're still in the anti-magic.
It's after the next blade
Oh,
trap.
I thought it started here. Okay.
This is the last spot of the effect.
Can I take a little bit of a running jump into this spot and then transform as I jump towards the wall?
So you can only jump 6 feet, which would put you here, but that is still
Right.
the anti-magic.
Right, but oh wait, the anti-magic comes all the way up here?
It's 15
Yeah.
feet.
Oh, sorry, I forgot. Okay, all right. Well, I guess I'm just gonna have to try and run through these blades.
All right, so give me a dex save.
Theo could say something. Oh wait, no, or anti-magic. Damn.
You would make it. So you only take half
And
damage.
15,
Which is-
20.
So you take 14.
Okay.
As you are cut a little bit, but not too much.
And then I guess I'm just gonna skip the wild shape and dash at this point, and I'm
Yeah.
using the rope and pittance.
Yeah, that's fine.
5, 10, 15, 20, and 25. That's as far as I can get.
Okay, Zalia.
Okay, I'm gonna use my movement to get to this rune. And then I assume it ports me?
Yeah, so whenever you hit that square, you would appear over here, which I will port you. You are standing right next to Ivor, and a bunch of angry Shusuva dogs are all around you. He seems to be paralyzed.
Fantastic. I'm wearing my ring, so I'm just gonna drag out the light here.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Can't see anything.
Well, you will soon enough. Do you still have an action?
Yep.
Okay, so what do you want
don't-
to do?
Yeah, Ivor, where is he?
He's right
Underneath you.
Oh. Okay. I'm going to cast Globe of Invulnerability. Wall of Force around me and Ivor with my Staff of Power.
All
Holy
right.
shit.
So you throw your staff up and make a little dome around the two of you.
Now,
Or I
question
guess-
for you.
I guess you could push them back, right? Because if you cast it on them and they're in the square, they have to choose to back off. Is that how it works?
Yeah. It's a radius of up to 10 feet.
So go ahead
Yeah,
and
and you
place the
choose which
radius.
side.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can choose whatever size I want. So, I guess, yeah, I'll do 10 feet. Question for you, though. Is that going to prevent Betha from getting through and Theo?
Well, they would. I mean, they wouldn't be able to get through the wall of force, but they could teleport onto that point.
But my action's over, so I couldn't, could I use my bonus action to try to drag Theo just, 5 feet to the side? So
Or
that,
Ivor.
sorry, Ivor, yeah.
I mean, you could step up here, but dragging him would take your action to grab him. So, now you could put the wall of force up to push them back or something.
Yeah, so let's do that. So,
Alright, so drag the radius on for the wall of force, 10 foot.
So, alright, sorry. Can I get Theo? Can I get Ivor with me, but off of the rune is what I'm asking, because I want them to be able to port through, and the wall of force would prevent them probably, or squish them underneath itself.
No, I think he was saying that they can teleport fine. They just wouldn't be able to leave the wall of force once they're over here.
Yeah, you couldn't really drag Ivor because you'd have to use an action to grab him, and if you were casting wall of force, you couldn't really take the time to move him.
You sealed the top, didn't you?
I guess I didn't have to. Yeah, let me just make it a dome. I'll make it like the top so that they can port into it. Yeah, that was my thing, because the spells can't go through it, you see, so okay.
Yeah, that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you want to leave it open, yeah, I see what you're saying.
So
Yeah.
it's walls with
Or wait, no,
ceiling?
you can teleport into a wall of force. Remember we had this discussion because the guy was able to teleport out.
See.
You can teleport because I think teleport specifically is kind of like the exception because of how it works. I think we
And
looked this up.
specifically with this, it would work more like teleportation circle than teleport itself, i.e., you put a wall of force around teleportation circle, it isn't cutting it off from the network. You can still pop inside of.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Right, so, but if we pop in there, then we can't get out or cast spells
that's
out,
the
right?
thing. You
Correct.
can't cast spells through it or get out, but you can teleport in. All right.
And can she move it with her on a subsequent turn, or does it stay where she put it?
I don't think it can be moved.
And actually, It has a radius, I think, of 10 feet, as opposed to a diameter. So I think it's actually bigger than that, even.
That's a 10-foot circle.
That's
Is
a
it 10-foot radius? Okay, hold
10
on.
foot
it
radius.
says-
Yeah.
It says the radius up to 10 feet.
Oh yeah.
All right, in that case, I'm going to move it here to push those
Well,
two.
So I think
if
if
you
you
do-
cast it, if you cast it over that creature, I don't think it will move him out of it. I think it would just
Yeah,
go
If
around.
so-
they're
There
in
you
the
go.
space that the walls start like pops up in, they get forced to one side.
Well, and
Right.
it said up to, so you can do the smaller one, right? If you wanted to.
Yeah, you can make it smaller, but he was here, so I'll say like you
Oh,
probably
okay.
want to put it back a little if you want to push him out.
All right. I'll just do what I had originally. So I'll just do this.
All right, so yeah, whoop. He would get pushed
Whoop.
back as the magic forces him out. That's it for you.
Yeah, no, just that.
I say nothing. I look like I'm
'Cause he is
struggling.
paralyzed. Yeah. Donnie.
Is Lady dead or just looks unconscious?
She looks dead. She was chopped down by one of the
So no chance of healing her.
You don't think so?
Oh,
axe
the
says-
dwarf lady?
Yeah, the priestess.
I
The
missed
axe
that.
would say, "This is going loud, Donnie. There's a lot of enemies. Be careful."
10, 15 to there. Let me just make sure I get my measurements right. Okay, so that would still hit him. Actually, I guess if I...
He's using the horn of blasting.
Yes, I am.
Oh God,
Try to
there's
figure out
no
where I can...
there. Don't forget you. Oh, you don't know. Never mind.
Yeah, that would... Actually, I need to... Sorry. 1 second. Just make sure I get this right. Oh, it's 30 feet. Fuck. Fuck him. Yeah, I'll do it there. 30 feet.
Alright,
Fuck
so
the
you're,
new guy.
you're hitting everyone. You're doing it
Yep.
live.
Yep.
Alright, so you go. Brr. Give me a roll for the horn of blasting.
Yep. Not a great damage roll.
Oh wait, that wasn't the. Give me the D100 roll.
Oh, the D100? Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry.
because it might blow up. Oh no, it's gonna blow up. What does this do when it blows up again? I was waiting for
Is
it.
that it?
I was
Wait, I
waiting
gotta look
for
it up. I gotta look it up. It has a 20% chance of causing the explosion. Yeah, it blows up.
The horde explodes for 10d6 fire damage to the blower. All right. So
To the blower, or the explosion fired in. Oh yeah, I guess it just says the blower. That just the blower? It doesn't even blow up everyone.
This is
That's
bullshit.
lame.
So there's just a burst of fire right in your face as the horn of blasting explodes. So
And of
you
course, I rolled
yeah,
40.
Yeah. So you take 40 points of damage. Doesn't knock you down or anything, but it did hurt.
Fuck me.
All right,
Dear.
Donnie.
Um,
You just see
Well-
Donnie go, burp, burp, and the horn just explodes right in his face, and he goes, ah, kind of stumbling back.
all right,
The horn
I'm
of
gonna
blasting is destroyed.
stab at the creature right in front of me. Am I hidden from it?
Yes. He does not see you currently with your
Alright.
hide roll.
So then I get advantage on the attack.
18 would strike as you pop out of nowhere from behind the pew and stab.
All right. Why are you not rolling damage? There we go.
All right. So you stab this thing, and it takes 34 points of damage.
And I will crush one of my soul trinkets as I do so to do necrotic damage to the one just south of Ivor, rather.
All right. How much is he taking? 15. All right.
Nice.
So does he take full necrotic? Yes, he does. So he takes 15 necrotic, roaring angrily, and they're both looking at you.
And I will bonus action disengage and move 5, 10, 15, 25, 30
Okay.
behind the altar. That is my turn.
So she's gone. Durhath is going to roar angrily, kind of turn around as he sees Donnie just explode, kind of confused, and he is going to swing at this guy again. So he takes his attacks. He would strike twice for, not bad, 22 points of damage. Oh. And the creature's going to counterattack him, which I forgot to do last time, using his reaction. Great sword attack at advantage would miss. Tinder goes. He is going to read a spell description really quick.
Yeet.
I think he's going for it. Oh, you know what? Actually, sorry, I'm taking a little while here. I think he's gonna summon something. Alright, so he does indeed. There is a poof. As a new creature seemingly appears from nowhere.
Nice.
What the hell? Is that your cousin, Ivor?
I'm offended.
Whoa! That's racist.
Maybe it is.
Could
I don't know.
but the creature is going to appear. I'm going to add him to the initiative. And it is going to stab at this thing. With its fork.
Now, did it? Well, I guess we did. We can't see Tinder, can we?
No,
I was about to say, Ivor, do you see Tinder right now?
Tinder's being sneaky.
Nettle should be here, by the way.
Yeah, sure, you can. I guess he would have flown through, so we'll say he is over here in the thing with you. So he gets to take 2 attacks with his fork and 1 with his tail.
He wouldn't have been anywhere near Ivor when he was getting killed by those. He'd probably be by the door.
Alright, so he strikes with his 2 fork attacks, but his tail would miss. So he strikes for 16 plus 9, 25 points of damage, stabbing this thing a bunch. And it roars angrily. And it says something in Fiendish, or whatever that's called, Infernal. Can anyone speak Infernal?
Allegedly. Maybe.
Maybe.
We
So
all
for
know
those
that.
who might
Well,
speak Infernal, it says,
Cinder,
I
right?
come to serve, as it stabs this thing. Theo, what are you going to do?
Wait, so
gonna-
what did the new creature do? Did he attack something?
Yeah, it appeared in flames and stabbed at the demon with its pitchfork.
Oh, he did. Okay. Wow.
So, question. Once
Cinder
I'm
has minions.
once I'm out of the anti-magic field, my armor would pretty much come back online. Would
Yes.
I get the 10 feet of movement that I wouldn't have whenever I'm in the anti-magic field?
Yeah, you would get back any effects that were turned off.
Alright. So I'm gonna try and dexfully get to this point.
Alright, so you're running through, or are you acrobaticsing?
Would it be a disadvantage until I'm out of the field? Because I don't have the strength for heavy armor?
Probably.
Alright, yeah, I'm still gonna try that.
It's so heavy. Alright, so give me a dex save. Or wait, no, you said you are going to acrobatics at disadvantage?
Yes.
Alright, go ahead. Oh, 11 is not enough. Give me a dex save.
Alright.
Alright, so you do manage to dodge most of the blades, taking 11 points of damage. As it cuts you up a little.
Alright, everything just came back online. I'm gonna press button on my armor for spell storing item, vortex warp into the portal.
Alright.
Oh, you waited and used that once you got into. Well, you wouldn't know.
It would have been another couple turns if I waited.
Alright, so you would go through the portal and poof, you are over here. Inside this dome, as you see the Shusuva outside snarling at this new devil that came through. And yeah, you see Zalia is holding the spell and keeping them at bay. Anything else?
Alright. Force barrier is completely invisible, right?
It's like shimmery.
Yeah, it's kind of shimmery. I don't think it's completely invisible.
I'm out of it right now. I go full charge and try to hit that wolf and slam into it.
So yeah, you're knocked back as you kind of move forward to try to engage that thing.
Field.
Awesome.
Topic.
Anything else, Theo?
Is the top open, Z?
No, it's not.
Oh, okay. I will wait here for the rest of my turn.
Okay, maybe take the dodge action.
No, I had to use that for vortex warp.
Oh, right, okay. The Tanaruk go. Now that the priestess is dead, these two are going to surround Donnie and attack. Oh, die, puny one. Mostly poor rolls from the first one, but a 24, I assume, would hit you.
Yep.
So you get bit once for 5 piercing, and you dodge the rest of the time, throwing your axe up, parrying, and moving out of the way of their swings.
Really?
Yeah, they did not roll well.
And the 5 piercing wasn't reduced either, right? Because I'm not raging.
So that would just be 5 piercing. That wasn't reduced.
Okay.
That was just his bite on you. So this one
wow.
attacks this guy.
Sad. You call yourselves orcs.
A little shade is thrown.
Ha!
So he does a bite and a greatsword at the guy, and he would hit with his bite, doing another 5 piercing to the father. Oh. And that would be it for the Tanaruk. The Shusuva go. These two are going to go for the father. Biting and stinging. He is bit and stung, dealing 42 points of damage. Oh, as he takes a walloping But he is okay for now. He does have to make a saving throw, which he would make, so he is not paralyzed just yet. These two are going to go for the devil, because they can't get through the force field. So they lunge, crit on the first one, doing 15 to the devil. Though... Okay, never mind. He's hit twice with the tail. 15 and 14, so he takes 29 and has to make 2 con saves. Oh! Oh wait, actually, I think he's immune to poison. Let me double check that. Fighting myself. Yeah, he is, so he cannot be poisoned. So he just laughs at their tail poison. Ivor, what are you doing? Oh, you're giving me a save. Oh, alright, so you continue to be poisoned and paralyzed. Betha.
Ivor, what happened to you?
Ivor's just standing there like, ah!
You see this gaping wound.
Betha moves into the teleport thingy.
Alright.
Really need
that
to
was
use some
10.
armor.
That was
So-
10 feet of movement.
A little halfling appears inside the wall of force.
Alright. So, and I am within the wall of force, so I can't cast outside of it.
Nope, not right now.
Alright, in that case, I'm going to use Healing Touch to do a lesser restoration on Ivor. That would be my action.
Sweet baby Jesus.
Alright, so
Celia's trying to like staunch your gaping hole with
So-
her hand.
that
I
removes
appreciate that.
that removes poison, right?
I hope so. Let's see. Let me find the spell. Lesser restoration. I know it's always prepared, so I never have to worry about did I prepare it. There we go. There's.
Yeah, so
I think
you
it does.
get rid of the poison and Ivor can move normally again.
Now, since I used Healing Touch, does it? Yeah, it says you can cast. So it still counts as a spell cast, doesn't it? Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I answered my own question as I was asking it. Sorry. All right. So then, and I don't think I can put it down outside of the wall of force, but I will put down my unicorn totem. Let me
Okay.
pull that out as my bonus action. So we have a sparkly totem in here with us.
We're making a party tube.
It's a sparkly wall of force dome.
That's all I've got.
Like a
I imagine.
little rave going on in here.
I imagine that when I took the sting, I was like mid profanity, and when you eliminated the poison, I was just like, I had been holding like a. And then when you removed the poison, I was like, fuck! Ah!
Alright, so that's it for Betha.
I wish there could be more, but there it is.
Alright, Zalia, what are you doing?
It worked. He's alive. Get back from. Remove my hands from his gaping wound. Does he look like he's in really bad shape?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, he does. I
yes.
have not been reflecting that accurately. There we
He
go.
looks wounded.
Okay. All right. In that case, you guys, you're all in terrible positions for me to drop this thing.
It's fine.
Everything's fine.
Concentration down Ivor's
You can
turn.
drop it. I'm at the two big guys near us.
You can drop concentration at any point. It doesn't have to be your turn, right? Unless it says something in the spell about how to drop it.
That's
Yeah,
true.
that's true.
Yeah.
Look, just keep it up this entire time and watch Beldani and Donnie die, and then you guys go on from
Hang
there.
on. Hang on.
Your
You know what,
sacrifice
y'all?
will be remembered.
Find your own, right?
Some of you may die, but
Okay.
this is a sacrifice.
The
I'm willing to
teleportation does work in and out of here, so
Yeah,
you can keep it up if you want.
They just leave. They're like, alright, we're out.
What I'm gonna do then is fuck, okay. I have 3 charges left on the staff, so I'm gonna use 2 of them. And I'm gonna cast Levitate on Ivor.
Okay.
And as
Isn't levitate a concentration? Or
Yes.
So that
I am.
would.
And I'm
Okay.
dropping it.
Okay, gotcha.
So
Oh,
as he rises up, the spell
that's
effects go
actually
away.
super clever because it doesn't provoke copies.
And
Wow.
then I'm gonna back myself up, right? And Ivor's gonna keep rising up
So
to
that
20.
would provoke an Oppie from this one because of his tail. If you back
Oh.
up past here, because it is a 15-foot reach
From
on that.
me?
Yes,
Okay.
but you can stop there, and then you're safe.
Okay.
Dave quotes.
Actually, you know what? I am gonna provoke an Oppie.
All right, so he is going to use his reaction to stab at you. The Shusuva spins around as it sees you trying to get away, and tail stingers 12 versus AC.
Miss.
All right, so you go and you dodge to the side, and he misses.
And he's used his reaction. And Ivor's going up 20 feet.
Okay. So that would, I think, give this one an Oppie on Ivor.
Not since it's
That's
not my
forced
choice.
movement.
Yep,
Force movement doesn't provoke copies.
correct.
I just remember that because Gildas being able to push things 10 feet with Eldritch Blast, I could have caused Donnie to kill a lot more things.
Yep.
Yeah, all right, sure. So you float up 20 feet.
And that's the end of my turn.
All right, Donnie. What are you doing, Donnie?
Sorry, I was looking for the mute button, but I was unmuted. Do either of the guys next to me, do either of them look like they've taken damage yet? I know they're not wounded,
north
but
one has.
okay, so I'll be swinging at him then.
All right, he's going to use his reaction to attack back. As you swing at him.
Go ahead.
Great sword attack at advantage 19 would strike
Why is it an advantage?
because of his ability.
Oh, okay.
Unbridled Fury. In response to being hit by a melee attack, the Tenaruk can make one melee attack with advantage against the
Technically, I haven't hit him yet.
oh, yeah, that's true. You're just swinging, so go ahead. I know you're gonna hit him, but sure, go ahead. You can go first.
Are you sure? Oh,
Yes.
so that's a pretty crap low. Oh, okay.
He is not well armored.
Okay.
So
then he
you
can hit
do-
me back.
So how much damage is that? 12?
Well, yep.
Alright, so yes, he would indeed roar, swinging back at you. For 11 slashing. And you can attack him a second time, because he used his reaction. Oh yeah, 17 would strike. As you
Another
hit
12
him
damage.
for another 12, and he is looking wounded. Oh.
Yeah, well, that's okay. So am I.
All right.
I will bonus action because I actually have not used it since the last short rest. Second wind.
All right. So you do a second wind, gaining back 11, feeling a bit better. Beldani.
All right, I'm gonna make my move up here
All right.
to get flanking with.
So using Donnie as a
Donnie?
distraction, you gain flank +2 to the attack.
All right. So 22 to hit.
Oh yeah, that would strike him as he's going to counterattack Donnie. You land a solid blow, which he cannot react to because he's used his reaction.
So for 25 damage,
Oh, he is badly hurt, but still up.
and I will crush another soul trinket to do Whales from the Grave damage to the one to the south of Donning.
Okay.
That's
so he
11
takes-
points of damage to that one.
Yep.
And since he has already used his reaction, I'm just gonna walk away behind the statue.
All right, so you squeeze behind it.
Attempt to hide.
These would be difficult terrain, these squares with the snake statue on them.
Okay, so then I would not have enough room to move because I was here to begin with. So that was 5, 10, 15, 25. Yeah, I couldn't get behind the statue, so I'll just move there, and that's my turn.
All right. The ghostly fighter is going to. He is not like this. He's going to take the dodge action, hoping he gets some help. So he has a lot of guys on him. Tinder would say, in your mind, I can't do much else. I've used most of my power. And he is going to end his turn. The Horned Devil is going to stab at this guy. Rawr. Forking him twice. And a tail attack. Crit on the first fork for 22, which would make this guy look wounded. And miss with the other fork attack and strike with the tail, dealing 10 points of damage and forcing a con save. Wait, no, this is another poison effect, I think. Oh wait, maybe it's not. No, never mind. So he takes 10 points and has to make a con save. Con save. Oh, he would make it anyway. So much ado about nothing, the Horned Devil growls angrily. Theo.
I am going to... the one south of me has used its reaction, correct?
Yes.
Yep.
Alright, I am going to punch the one to the left of me.
Alright, so you take a punch at that guy. That guy.
Oh, sorry, I just rolled twice on accident.
16 would be enough, so you punch him for 5 thunder, getting his attention.
Alright, it has disadvantage if it targets anybody other than me.
Yep.
Yell at Tabatha, run north as fast as you can, and try and punch the one south of me.
Okay. 18 would strike that one as well, dealing another 9, and now they are both mad at you because they don't want that disadvantage. Anything else?
That is it.
Alright, the Tanaruk go. So these two... Yeah, they're gonna go for Donnie. They don't want to take Oppies. Try to drop him. So they bite and greatsword. And they have flank. Donnie, what's your AC? 14?
14.
So
Yep.
you are struck 3 times. The bite, a greatsword, another bite, taking 24 damage as the two demons tear at you, possibly wounding you at this point. This one is going to... He's going to rush over this way, or at least attempt to. This guy's going to take an Oppie. Oh, and he would strike him, doing 9 points of damage and stopping his movement. At which point he turns back around and swings at that guy with disadvantage. Or actually, he's going to use his reaction to swing at advantage. So that would be a wash with that first attack. 21 would strike, slashing him for 8, which would wound him. He is looking a little bit beat up, and then he's going to take 2 more swings at him, or swing and a bite, because he can't move. But both would miss thanks to the disadvantage. That's it for the Tanaruk. The Shusuva go. These guys are just going to ferociously attack him, even though he's defending, because they're not super bright. So, bite, sting, bite, sting. All at disadvantage. One of them would actually hit. He is stung for 20 piercing. Ouch. He's getting a little bit beat up looking. He has to make a con save. He has advantage because dwarf. Ghost. Actually, wait. Never mind. He is immune to poison. He's a ghost. So he is unaffected. He doesn't even have to save. Ivor. Or wait, no. This guy is going to... These two are going to go for Theo because they don't want disadvantage.
Aha!
Tank, Theo, tank. So, bite, sting. 3 of the attacks would miss. 21 versus AC.
Hits.
Alright, so you are stung by one of the tail swipes, doing 16 piercing, and I need a con save. As you quickly duck and dive, dodging most of the attacks. And you do, in fact, resist the poison, so you are not poisoned or paralyzed. Yeah.
Absorb elements requires damage from an element, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
part of the casting, it says very specific damage types.
All right. Yeah, that was just me talking to by time while I reread the spell real quick.
Okay. So we are going into new round, but we are past time. So I think we should probably stop here, right?
Ugh.
Yes, please. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's
So
fine
give
for me.
me MVP votes. Hopefully everyone had fun, and we'll pick this battle up next time. You can always choose to fail a save if a spell targets you.
That's a good question, though. I'll have to look up the wording on opportunity attacks. Let's do that.
Yeah, again,
votes.
that's kind of like a rules lawyering question. That's not kind of worth it in the moment, but one of those things I was
it's a
yeah.
good
curious
question.
about after the fact.
That's a
That
good
would
point.
also affect Vortex work because it is a save that you can choose to fail and then get teleported out of an area.
Yeah, okay, opportunity attacks.
So yeah, it might be like if you are choosing to fail, it might be more of a willing movement, but yeah, we can look into that. Who am I missing for the vote? I think I need one.
So specifically, the verbiage is.
I was earlier up to remind you that it was getting late. I don't know if you got it.
Oh, I may have missed
I
it.
can
Hang
resend.
on. Yeah, why don't you resend, because I might have to scroll up a ways. So Donnie, with 3 votes, you are MVP.
Oh, wow. For being dumb and blowing up himself.
And Bell Donnie is a close second, as someone quoted, for getting us into this bullshit.
Yeah. Donnie, I mean, legitimately, we're not out of this.
Well, not yet.
It is a little squirrely, y'all.
Oh.
So the verbiage for opportunity attacks says you don't provoke an opportunity attack when you teleport or when someone or something moves you without using your movement, action, or reaction. So it doesn't necessarily specify whether you're willing or not. It just says that it doesn't.
You have to
require
use your
any-
own movement.
Yeah, you have to use your action economy. Yep.
That makes sense because when one of my other characters, I've been using dissonant whispers to cause people to run away and provoke oppies, and that requires the reaction for them to use it, which is why it provokes oppies. So that makes total sense.
Yep.
Okay,
Alright,
cool.
well, I'm gonna-
Well, I need to go to bed.
Yeah, I'm going to take some notes on this, but you are all welcome to take off, and yeah, I hope you had fun.
Oh
All
yeah.
right, folks. Thanks for getting us into this mess, Beldani. It's been fun.
Thank you, Beldani.
Thanks, Bill Donnie.
Really, what I'm excited about is
Thanks,
now.
Obama.
Yeah.
To be clear, Donnie's right there with you. I'm enjoying this. Have a nice night, folks.
Have a nice day.
This is
Good
what
night.
religion gets us into.
I'm just excited that the professor has a reason to be mad at somebody else, maybe. Like, Beldani, you motherfucker, I didn't get a full night of sleep because of you. Or some
You
such.
think that's how it's gonna go? Really?
No, not even a little bit.
Like with as tired as Zalia is, and we started to rest twice and then stopped a few hours in. Both
So-
times.
With how
I'm hoping that
tired,
Beldani will share the blame with me.
With how tired Z is, you could potentially disguise yourself again, and she would think it's all a delusion from sleep deprivation.
No, she's not.
It's the hollow
She's an intelligent
Hydra.
woman.
False Hydra's here to
It's
kill
the
us all.
false Hydra.
Is there a sanity check in D&D?
There are some optional rules for madness. That's true.
Seriously,
It's
I'm gonna
so-
have to look into that.
Oh, it's amazing.
Turns
There are
out
whole.
Liz incorporated them without telling us, just for the best effects.
It suddenly
There
turns
is-
into Darkest Dungeon.
Yeah, we're going into pandemonium. Yeah, there are optional rules for madness, and there are also actually optional rules for attributes, which are based off of like sanity. I think it might actually be called sanity. So like when you like if you're doing point buy, you just get like extra points. You have a whole nother fucking attribute to fuck with. I think there's actually also optional rules for honor, which would be a lot of fun. But yeah, there's definitely optional rules for how to get yourself some eldritch damage.
A very different feeling game though if I started using madness and eldritch horror.
Oh
I don't
yeah,
know if
it's-
it'd work for a high fantasy game.
Yeah, there you go. Honor and sanity. Yep, those are the ones.
Oh,
I would love that type of game, but I have a feeling a lot of people would not.
Honestly, with the dungeon we're in right now, if you have dungeons like this, whenever their groups are in said kind of dungeons, sanity
False
would be a.
I was
It-
gonna say,
it-
please don't do it now, because I've had my fill. But maybe we can do another one sometime. Next time we go into a fucking temple, Lou's gonna say, "Okay, everybody roll 4d6 and keep the 3 highest," and we're gonna be like, "Nah, what?"
See. This is terrifying. This place, just illusions can die in front of us. That's
Well,
my
Next
theory
time-
with
Hoping that
game.
there's something actually to the altar room, because the last time that illusions went unconscious, they just disappeared. This is the
Yeah, that's
first
the thing.
place this
Is,
has happened in. I think that,
yeah.
you know, loath as I am to admit it, I think that perhaps there's a chance that Cordis was behind this shit all along.
I very
Is
much
the
doubt it
dwarf
at this point.
lady- is her body there?
The dwarf lady,
Dwarf
yeah,
lady?
she's laying on the ground.
She's right here.
Yeah,
did
when
not-
we hit
Before-
the dwarf like a truck, he was just. Oh wait, no, you dispelled him. That's right. It was Cordis that fucking Donnie hit, and then he was just like MIA. So whatever's going on, apparently, and maybe these are the real iterations of the people, which I have high hopes for. I don't at this point. I don't care why they're real. I just care that we're getting some answers. I just want to go home so bad.
Just remember, the reason why potentially the Bodek and Dracolich are real is because undead and can last a very, very long time. The two dwarves that we see down here would have died even from old age in the last cycle.
That's true. I guess we have been fighting demons that are allegedly not demons, and they have been leaving behind perfectly legitimate remains.
Well, the
I don't know.
Dracolich said that the imp wasn't what he said he was, and the imp said that the Dracolich wasn't what he appeared to be, and the Boda.
No, it
and
was
like-
the fucking Telekaru. I don't think even noticed Tinder. However, Hollowhand did sure say, he was like, "What the fuck is that?" And I was like,
Oh, that's what it
that's-
was.
I was like, "That's an
Dracolich
imp,"
said
and he's like,
Hollowhands wasn't
"The
what he
fuck
said
it
he
is."
was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, we've had Tinder tell us that things we were seeing weren't what they looked like, and we've had the Dracolich say that, and we've had Hollowhands say that, and we've seen doubles of people.
Lou's
So,
just
like,
over
I
here
don't-
having a grand
I
fucking
don't know
time.
that anything that we've seen is
The
real.
whole thing is a dream.
Yeah, I am wondering if we need
It's
to
a
make a
false
check.
Hydra.
Oh, I almost used my action to pinch myself instead of moving forward
No,
through
it's
the
real.
anti-magic
Oh
field.
God, no!
I'm okay with it being a dream as long as we don't level or wake up at level 10. That would be.
It's
Yeah.
gonna turn
That
out.
would be
I can't
cruel.
remember the last time we leveled. When was it?
It was-
You all wake
we
up in
leveled.
Char, and you hadn't gone underground yet. It was
Yeah.
all a dream.
We're at like level 4 or something.
Yeah,
The last
It's gonna-
time that we leveled was immediately after we met Tinder.
hmm
Oh, so
Yeah.
that okay. In here we
It
leveled.
has been while we've been in
Yeah.
here, yeah.
I
Yep.
feel like I've aged 80 years since we came in.
I know. That's gonna be the real trick. Is like once we figure out the temple, we're gonna leave it, and it's gonna like 3 years have passed, and like everybody we know is
Seriously.
dead, and
And
Orc
all of our
has
efforts in
fucking
ISIC were
ruled the
for
world
naught.
now.
We haven't had a long rest in like 4 sessions.
I think is that all? I feel like it's been longer.
Oh, it's.
I
I
was
think it
trying to
actually
give
has
you
been
one.
since.
Beldani shouldn't have followed. It's all
I don't know.
Beldani's fault.
Everything
Or-
is my fault.
Beldani should
Thanks,
have had
Obama.
some heavily armored, stealthy guy come with him too. Fire backup.
Would have made us get into this faster.
No, because I would have tried to stop Bill. No,
Yeah,
that was
that
definitely
would
Bill's
really-
call.
He's gonna-
That it would no.
I was gonna
It's
say,
a
even if
situation
you did
of
try him, he's not gonna listen to you.
no. But whenever we started getting overwhelmed, there is the vortex warp out.
Yeah, that also-
Teleportation.
willing creature.
Yeah, he's not gonna go with you either.
Oh no, that's why
Well-
I prefaced with the once we started getting overwhelmed.
I'm gonna say the boat